some of these teams at the moment, as we're already seeing teams start to stack up. As on the south side, we can also see one team who's stacking up on loot, and that's going to be 40% worse.
Yeah, Barometer is going to be the place to be, and those teams who did have access to the ring console were already moving nice and early. Quite important that Redragon won that fight as well on wall, because they now have a ring console they can just have a little look at, say, all right, well, we know we've got to move quite some way, but at least we've won this fight. We know that all the northern teams are going to be moving fast, so I would imagine Redragon will be one of the last teams to rotate in, and they'll just focus on making sure they loot up accordingly. As for Shiv and the rest of 40% worse, they'll be making their way to Barometer now. Quite an easy rotation from Coastal Camp, and they will have that indication of what's going to be going down. They had a survey beacon, but unfortunately, no chance to use it for them. So no ring console, but I think they were able to see where everyone was going.
Work on something here.
Interesting to see that Mandy had every single thing decked out in purple on that scout as well. So every attachment you could possibly wish for. But Zerafa is probably thinking, hey, can we switch one of those purple attachments for a purple shield? That would be quite nice. Elsewhere, you can see they've got the long distance weapons to do a little bit of poke damage and get Zeri at least up to a blue pretty quickly. But this is a great spot to play if the zone pulls to this side of Barometer. We do see it pull to the other side, the more western side, sometimes as well. The height is obviously, I would say, the most comfortable position to play, but as we almost always know, Dan, sometimes playing that ultimate height can cause some problems if it does pull away, and then you have to jump down and move down to that lower ground.
And that's where legend composition can really come into it in those final circles. What utility do you have to help those scenarios? As you can see, all of like the ultimates and smokes and dark veils going down for teams to start making their move, and we're already seeing lots of Horizon, lots of Bangalore, even quite a bit of Watson, it would seem. We saw that in APAC as well last night. Watson featuring heavily, a great legend to still use and also have that ability to hit those ring consoles as well. I guess this gives us a good chance to talk about the weapon meta and what's happened in the most recent changes as well, Mark. We are going to see a lot of 30-30 still, arguably the most powerful ranged weapon that we have in the game at the moment, aside from the Kraber, and is going to be a staple. And then for short range, we're going to see a lot of Volt. Now, R99 still very strong, but was nerfed ever so slightly. That means without a clip, it is now kind of rivaled by the Volt. So I think we'll start to see a lot more SMG variety and not just R99 on our screen.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And obviously the car going to be a good pickup as well for those ultra close battles with that high rate of fire. But there is a little bit more parity with the SMGs.
We can add those
just the dominance of the R99. But you're still quite right. If you've got a purple or gold mag on an R9, you're probably going to pick it over anything else just for that rate of fire and ability to just shred through some people. But good rotate here coming in from Team Cold. And this is the team where you looked at it on paper on the off-season, Dan, and there's not many holes you could pick in it. You've got champions from LAN, you've got EMEA champions, and you've got one of the IGLs, the most established and veteran IGLs in all of the EMEA region as well, who is pretty damn good on the analyst desk as well in Graceful. And you hope that they can get out to a good start, because I think there's one of those teams, if they can get out to a good start, that the only thing that can really stop them is maybe a little bit of self-doubt and confidence.
An impressive rotation from them as well, moving from command center, getting all the way to Barometer and finding a hot spot, as it were, but potentially a fight that could be happening over here. Two teams certainly posturing up against one another, and you can see Wives is just having a little bit of a look alongside the rest of the squad at the moment, but both teams will be more than happy to reside in these buildings for now, but they will know that
do they not have
to move once this circle comes in.
They don't have a command center up for this, do they?
Both teams should be safe inside of this building, but one team will have to leave, and you imagine both teams will have to leave at some point. But look at this angle. Unfortunately, it's not going to be an angle which is good enough. It looks like an invisible wall is causing some problems. Hanzo's getting creative, but the game is slowing him down.
Yeah, slowing him down a lot, but trying to get in. And oh my god, there's just so many Watson fences everywhere. But now they burst out, and it's like a surprise attack. And it will have to be a retreat, but the retreat is not quick enough.
VH lose one. Hanzo has gone down, and he was the player who was trying to make that initial play, and now No Days Off have the numbers advantage. Can they take the last two players down without finding anyone else to come in and third party this? It looks like this is a pretty isolated fight at the moment. It looks like LVH have decided, hey, well, let's just try and get out of here and try and reposition for now. But No Days Off want to try and chase him down, want to try and pick up these KP, but aren't going to be able to do so comfortably at the moment.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams nearby that can probably hear this going down. Aftermath and Outplayed, but they're in positions that are arguably better than this one, so there's no reason for them to move in. So as you say, still a pretty isolated fight. Now, I wouldn't say they're out of this just yet, by the way, because they have the ability to get Hanzo back. Now, this should encourage the other team to essentially make a push here, because you've got to try and finish these two off, but this is great damage just to keep them back as this respawn beacon comes down.
Give me Mortal Kombat vibes. Hanzo, every time I hear that name, I just think of Scorpion. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to bring the fire as he gets back into the lobby right now. But you're right, the mobile respawn is going to be in the backpack, which means they can get him.
Damn, they are hard pushing. You bang out that.
As the 2v3 might become a 3v3 if Hanzo can get back inside of this building. And just a reminder as well, dropping out the dropship now.
If he gets in
you're
this
have
building,
that armor that you had previously, you're also going to have the weapons, not the attachments, but you can fight now. It's not like you're that sitting duck.
wow,
Big
that
change
team
compared to when
did
we
not
last
push.
saw ALGS and back at the championship, so it meant that they could get back up to full strength here, LVH, and they didn't take the fight. We saw that there was the potential for
okay.
to say, all right, well, let's try.
I would have bang
ulted.
ulted.
As soon as that respawn has come through,
That's why I'm not in Pro League.
There's a player who's coming back with weapons to actually deal some damage. So great for the respawn beacon to be available for LVH. They had that mobile resi, and they were easily able to get that banner. So now they can just restart their game. So still,
That's
18
why I
squads.
have.
There's Full English moving in as well. You can see Alliance
Yeah.
on the,
I know
on the
why I
horizon
did
as
this
well,
now.
just to the north of them, as all of these buildings start to be
So we're gonna
taken
add-
inside of Cenote. But one thing that might stop people is a Kraber. Line it up, buddy. Pull that trigger. Let's see some skulls being splattered.
We're gonna go to this scene. We're gonna copy.
Just scouting things out at the moment. 11 bullets, plenty to work with. And they're more than happy in this position.
Why can't I
will
copy
say. So the
this?
circle, even though it is still looking like it's going to head further towards Barometer, there is a chance it could pull a little bit southwest and actually would end up really well for teams like Aftermath, who have already positioned themselves all the way in that southwest corner. But most teams still banking on Barometer being where we're going to be positioning ourselves.
18
I
squads
can
alive.
remove that.
It is always fascinating to me, Dan, for everyone at home
But I
to
can't
watch
copy it.
scrims for months, and there'll be 7 teams alive as Zone 3 starts to close, to going into the ALGS, and all of a sudden everyone's like, right, okay, let's play some real weight picks. 18 squads alive, just the 2. We saw the 1 lost on
But
contest,
paste
and 1,
it.
of course, lost
Uh-oh.
on rotate, but everybody else is set up, Dan. Everybody in Barometer. And I think the fact that we have a zone with a good POI with so many playable areas is allowing this in our
There
game
we
number
go.
1. Everyone can find a rotation. Everybody can find their way in towards an end game.
Then
And I
we'll
think it's
go
gonna set
here.
us up for one of those crazy zone 4s where the zone pull might surprise a few people, but we're going to see teams forced to be funneled and fight.
You can see RD were the last team to move from the north as we expected from Wall, but there is still a team from the kind of eastern side. Stay Healthy are going to be moving in with a circle. They're the only squad who are outside of this circle at the moment, and we had a brief overlook of just how congested some of the areas in Barometer are. But
There
it's
we
not
go.
all going to be in central Barometer. There's a lot
I
of teams
think-
that are spread out. They've taken buildings, the only buildings that were available to them when they made their rotation. But this next circle is going to be a big one for those who don't have the information to give them an idea of
I
where it's
think
gonna be
my
And the only thing that's
browser
saved in that broken
sources
building
just
was,
shit the
fact
bed
that
for a
Kraber
second,
bullets
and
were
I
a
had to
little bit
reset
heavy.
all of them.
The gun is very, very strong. You've got to make sure that you account for that bullet drop off if you want to hit the headshot. 140 though is certainly going to help in leveling up that Evo shield here for Jukes. You can see he's only 37 damage off, and I'm going to be honest with you, he doesn't need the Kraber for that. He just needs to pull the Volt out if he needs to and just spray and get a little
think
bit
we're
of
good
chip
now, though.
damage to make sure that he's feeling healthy. Here comes the rotate though from the team that we saw win the contest right at the start of this game, but can they find someone to play?
Yeah, the evac towers are dropping, but Redragon unfortunately not able to really get anywhere with them. They're just trying to make sure they group together at this point, but it's going to be an interesting rotation for a lot of squads, that's for sure. But at the moment, everyone's going to be starting to head back towards this southwest area. So the circle has pulled slightly away from Barometer to the west. So those teams who are on the southeast side are going to have to move. The likes of 2 Rats, 1 Controller, 40% worse. They're in the danger zones for me because they're going to have to push through all these teams that are in the center side of Barometer, and they're going to be able to hold the height over them.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough zone pull for those teams. Like you mentioned, they're all going to have to leave Barometer, and it looks like we might be finishing down in the open. No buildings inside of the zone. Maybe Aftermath might have like a little skinny corner to play in, potentially, but you would imagine the bridge is going to become a pretty primary position, but difficult to
Yo,
hold
their
down unless you
overlays
have a
are
Watson or
jacked.
a Catalyst, something that can cause problems. And August and Hungry, they've realized that maybe their position isn't great. They need to start fighting. They need to clear the way and pick up some KP.
Yeah, August and Hungary have a slightly more comfortable rotation just because they're the only team here on this southern side, but look at the damage that's being emitted by the teams that are above them. I said it was comfortable. Take it back. It's not comfortable at all, as now they're down to just 2.
Yeah, we see
Who are we watching?
Element 6 have fallen. Not a great first game for them. August and Hungary down to 2 as well. And this is what I meant. This zone close from 3 to 4 is going to force so many teams, especially with that zone pool, to have to make decisions on how they want to try and approach it. You can see at the moment that, 40% words, they're trying to pick up a few things. They're trying to pick up a few extra banners and maybe a few meds to help them through that, but it's going to be a tough move for them.
Yeah, excuse me, that was 40% worse on our screen who were having a little bit of a struggle. August and Hungary are fine as a 3 on the southern side. It was all these teams on the southeast that are trying to make their move and trying to survive, and it's also happening on the northern side as well. Teams being held out, teams being griefed, and this is the damage that can happen if you are the late arrivals. The ring just tickles you as you're trying to run through, but then also all the damage coming out from the teams that are able to watch as RD try and survive as they might.
Stay healthy, eliminated in the meantime, but I mean, RD, this is the team, like I mentioned, that won the contest. They then used that evac to wrap all the way back to the north, and now they're finding themselves back in the fight with Alliance, who are holding them out the first time, and it looks like Alliance should be able to clean up these pieces. KP for them, it's going to be Redragon who are eliminated, as Alliance now have a long way to go on the quick side of zone to fight their way in.
Cybercats also go down to R1C. Looks like they should be okay, but they're being... Oh yeah, they won the fight, so that's good. Cybercats eliminated. 2R1C are the ones who took them down. They now own this side of Barometer, but there are a few teams around them as well.
Rico?
You mentioned Alliance. They're going to have a tough rotation if they go
Is that the default
to their east and to their west, so maybe an evac tower could be their best chance of surviving, but at the same time, that's also very risky, as the circle, again, is going to be moving west here.
I mean, we've gone from 18, 17 squads down to 13 already, and the rest of the teams who are in Barometer, we're going to lose at least 3 or 4 more, you would imagine. Down on the southern side of the zone, you can see August and Hungary has somehow made their way through, as they're trying to now push this fight. If they can win this fight, then they might be in a position to take away one of the god spots, but there is one player going down. Unlucky flies in extremely aggressively there, Dan, and might have just given away that first knock a bit too easily.
Yeah, Aftermath trying to do what they can to respond in this fight. It's a 1 versus 1 now, potentially, and it is going to be Aftermath who come out on top. And unfortunately for August and Hungary, not able to really get going in that fight. Can Aftermath stabilize, though? LVH are kind of griefing them from a distance, trying to get the finishes on these knocks, but at least Flash is going to be healthy and well, and they should be able to get back up to a full 3 here before round 4 closes.
Yeah, it's such a smart decision as well, just to use that ult excel, just to give teammates an opportunity to get a little bit of shield back, as they're going to be forced out from behind this rock. It means they can pop the meds so they don't die to the zone, but also move with a little bit extra HP, so they do get one player back in, even with the rest of the teams who are fighting all the way from Sonote, trying to damage them, trying to chip away at those shields. But 07, who were in Barometer, they've taken that bridge position I was mentioning.
And now this is where all the commotion is going to be happening on this northeast side and just east side in general. Everyone moving for Barometer. Cold eliminated. They're getting, unfortunately, griefed as well. Our 2R1C, 44% worse also go down. But 07 are holding a good spot here, but they might be joined very shortly.
Here comes the push then. They're trying to hold it down. You saw a couple more teams being eliminated in the meantime. Full English, 2 rounds, 1 controller. They have gone as well. Naski is down, but there's Amphi to close things out. Mine, though, are going to be taken down. 07 will be eliminated as the nades do come in, and it's Alliance, the last of the party, but the ones who are going to be celebrating the most. They can take control of the northern side of zone.
Oh, but that was perfect for Alliance. As they crossed the bridge, they saw all the pushes happening. They saw where their opening was, and they had to jump on that fight quick enough. And thankfully, there was enough damage done to 07 that it made it easy for Alliance just to swoop in on the end. So now, suddenly, we're down to just 6 squads just like that. Alliance, Infinite, Outplayed, Aftermath, LVH, and No Days Off. Remember, LVH and No Days Off were fighting on that western side right at the start of this game. They've been able to slowly creep down further and further on the southwest to get into arguably some of the best positions. LVH are the only team in the
I don't have ad
right
blocker on.
However, you can be in circle, but Effect has got a wingman, and we know that gun from the package is a problem for anyone who tries to get in the way of it, and that's what happens. Effect goes in and just mows down the majority of the shields. There's the cleanup crew coming in for Alliance.
Wingman is so
Seconds till the
good.
zone starts to move, though. Alliance are going to have to keep moving here. That fight is not going to be the end of it for them.
Yeah, Outplayed are starting to join this fight. Aftermath also taking a look at it. Alliance just need to stay healthy, get those shield swaps. They finally take down Infinite, and I don't think Outplayed closed that gap quick enough to be able to push this fight. So Alliance will get a second to reset. Even with the barrages happening around them, they should be able to survive. But now, with 40 seconds until round 5 closes, they have to move westward, but they are getting griefed by all sorts of grenades.
Oh my goodness, they are getting absolutely decimated by grenades, as frags, as thermites, and that will be the end of them. Alliance will fall, but from the very northern side of Storm Point here, I think getting into that position, taking away a top 5 with those amount of KP, they're going to be pretty happy. Here are your teams remaining, though, down on the right-hand side of your screen, and it's LVH. We saw Alliance go down, but the Alliance man himself, Vibes, he's back, and he's still in God spot with LVH.
Yeah, Aftermath and Outplayed are going to be fighting. No Days Off and LVH going to be fighting on the other side, so big fights going down, and maybe we'll end up with a full 3v3 here, depending on that how this happens. But it looks like teams just trying to avoid the commotion right now, because it's very dangerous to take a fight at this point in the game, especially if you're in open area, and there is quite a lot of open area. But look at everyone's managed to find a little nook and cranny to hide behind at the moment.
Yeah, this is an interesting final circle, isn't it? 50 seconds left until the zone starts to close. You're starting to look across what teams have ultimates available, what teams are going to have the wall available, and I love this play call coming in from LVH. They want to clear this side of zone. They got some initial damage, but initial damage doesn't matter when you get shredded down. You get absolutely put on your back. And now LVH, having made that initial call and made that initial play, are relying on Life to move in and clean up the damage, and he's not going to be able to do so. LVH, it was a smart play, it was a good play, but the counterplay was even better, as now we see the final teams move in. Yeah, Outplayed and Aftermath are now going to be fighting each other as well, so this is going to be a straight 3v3 on the southern side, which will allow No Days Off to reset, but already one has fallen. Shex has gone down. Jack's trying to stay alive and also has a lot of help on the Bangalore here as well. Great damage from the Vault, and now we have 2 squads, but No Days Off, now they move in. It's a 2v2. They didn't manage to get that res in time. The Kraber might be the difference maker, but not going to connect with the first shot.
You're shooting.
There was an opportunity, but it was not taken. And now you have to feel this
is shooting down people.
Outplayed, who are your first champion here on Storm Point.
A great effort from No Days Off. As you mentioned, they were only a 2. Unfortunately, that third properly went down and out. But I love the time that they pushed. They tried to take advantage of what they had heard. They didn't really get a full reset, but Outplayed, doing so well to make sure that they maneuvered their way on that southern side to stay alive and then take the fights when they needed to.
You just thought there was the opportunity there. Weren't able to get the res immediately. The team pushes across, and it's a 2v2 scenario, but just couldn't maybe get enough of a reset with their shields, realizing that that was their opportunity to win the game, so they just had to go and try and capitalize on that damage. And unfortunately, the shield differential just allowed them to get in a position to clean up that 2v2. One Kraber bullet could have changed it, though, Dan. We know that. One bullet there gets hit, and we have a different champion. But, I mean, what a first game. Great to see 18 teams alive. I think it was on Zone 3, if I'm not mistaken. So, Emir showing that scrims mean nothing, as we all know. And when we get to the Pro League is when the real action starts.
Yeah, No Days Off performing well from qualifiers into Pro League as well. Still showing that they are a very high kill style team, and they've been able to find a lot of victories in their fights. And remember, they were fighting so early as well on that western side versus LVH, and I was worried that we might see those 2 teams dip out early, but the circle started to pull towards them, and they were able to kind of reap the rewards because of that, as all those teams who had committed to Barometer had to move at exactly the same time, and it was just a death pit over towards Barometer when that happened.
It certainly was indeed. Infinite, by the way, shout out to you guys. I mean, 10 kills for them alongside some placement points gives them 13 points overall. Full English in 9th position there, just a couple of placement points for them. But as we move over to page 2, we'll see a couple of teams who did struggle, and the one team that is going to be notable is Vamo Querer. Right at the bottom there, lost that contest over at the wall. E6 surprisingly going out early as well, but as we see, whenever they go down, they still have some KP alongside it. And you can see also Cold, who were in a pretty good position to start off with. Unfortunately, that pull from Barometer all the way over to the west side kind of hurt them a little bit more than most.
And we
Damn,
saw
Red
two
Dragon is
very
in
different styles of
15th.
play from a lot of teams. I mean, we've always kind of spoke about who's a zone team, who's an edge team, what's better in the current meta. Is it better to play edge?
And
There was
5
times where
points 'cause of
Alliance
kills.
really
That's crazy.
benefited from playing edge, where they were able to move in and pick up the pieces. But then eventually it was a team who had really played zone from the very get-go, who were able to kind of hold on to a lot of the area that was created by that circle. But plenty of action happening towards the late game there. We went down from like 15 squads to 6 in the matter of minutes at one point. But that's an amazing way to start off ALGS Year 4 with Amir here.
ANC outplayed, obviously taking home that first win. LVH, there's a couple of plays that they made towards the end where you're just kind of like, I like this play, but the execution was lacking, right? That one team fight, they recognize if they win that team fight, they probably win the game. They got some initial damage done, but then they had to push the Watson team. And we always talk about compositions, why you play certain legends. Well, that
So now does this work?
Fight. The
Here's
shields
the real
just
question,
kept regenerating
right?
a little bit, and they weren't able to get the finishes on that initial damage that did come in. So that was kind of the game-defining fight, I would say, that lost LVH the game and gave ANC Outplayed the opportunity to win it with the time that it took to finish that fight. And I think ANC Outplayed, you're looking at them down and you're thinking, maybe not talked about enough by us. We talked about so many teams, but one team we didn't talk about is the team who win our first game here.
Yeah, and dropping over towards Downed Beast, so they were on that western side already, but they still had to move, and they ended up on the southern side. So they were able to move quickly, position themselves accordingly, and then reap those rewards as well when the circle did start to pull towards them.
It's
but
just not working.
It also shows how important it is to keep a full 3-up. I know that sounds silly, and I know how difficult it is, but knockdown shields are going to be important. Make sure you've got some way of protecting you so that you can get picked up, because if you get finished that late on, you're not going to be able to get back into the game. Well, unlikely anyway, even with a mobile resi. So that was unfortunate for LVH, but we have to tip our hats if we had them to outplay.
Why is everything broken
Game
today?
done and dusted. It's time for us to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere, everyone. The ALGS will continue here in EMEA. Game 2, just around the corner.
That pre-rendered text. Okay, what is happening? Dude. Why isn't this working? Okay, hold on. Now it should work, right? I believe. Let's look. Hey, it worked.
Welcome back to the ALGS Year 4 Split 1. We are back with Game 2. Rain Day and Gaskin on the mic representing the start of EMEA. And Dan, what a finish. We saw ANC outplayed a team, quite rightly, we have not spoken about enough, take the win in game number 1.
Well, that's one way to start getting talked about, right? Is to start winning games and put your name on that map. And now we're going to be keeping an eye on Outplayed and how they move and how they rotate and whether they can make this a pattern or whether it was just a one-off going into map number 2. Remember, they drop over towards Downed Beast, so that kind of southwest circle did help them out. But the same could be said for LVH, who drop at Cenote Cave. They weren't able to capitalize, but they were griefed quite early on. But still, both teams able to pick up good points from circles pulling their way.
And just to mention, Andy Jack, Shex, Willem, they've been together, the Italian trio, since 2022. And Andy Jackson Shex since 2021. These players actually are, we talked about Alliance being a long tenured roster, one of the longer tenured roster in EMEA that have stuck together. So that bodes well for them continuing off as we take a look at the teams coming in ready to drop off. But Dan, I mean, that's got to mean something in the chaos of starting off a league. It's always good to have longtime teammates that can support you in those final zones.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you almost have a head start against a lot of these teams who have made even more changes, because you're going to have that chemistry, you're going to have that knowledge of playing in certain scenarios, playing in certain circles. But my question would be, if you've not made those changes and it wasn't working in previous years, why is it suddenly going to start working now? Or maybe Outplayed are finally clicking to the point where they say, okay, well, we know what we've been doing wrong previously, and we think that it will be worth it as we head into year 4 and as we head out of the dropship here for match number 2.
Yes, Storm Point World's Edge comes in the second half of our games today in EMEA, but we go to where the storm is heaviest, right into the eye, as we kick off with, yes, another contest. Dan, you had mentioned this is a big part of a few of the starts of this season, teams fighting for space. Back to Vamos Correr, looking to get that contest going their way this time around.
Yeah, last time they were about a millisecond away from the Conduit Q being able to help them in that fight. We'll have to see whether they'll be able to get a better fight this time. It looks
worked.
like maybe RD are saying, oh, yep, we've lost one. We're getting out of here. They can craft the banner because they have the support legend to be able to do so. And Vamos Correr were able to get the better of them this time, and they will assert a little bit more dominance.
Big start for Vamos Correr, because it could have gone very, very poorly. 2 games in a row, you're sitting out for 30 minutes. That is one of those difficult mental battles. Plus, you don't want to fight the personnel battle of looking to get your team together off of scrims into the real ALGS environment. It's 1-1 for these two teams. So Red Dragon now going to go back to the drawing board and see if they can take the edge before heading to World's Edge. As we transition over, another fight between No Days Off. And look at this, Vamos Correr possibly getting involved. No, they're really not. This is actually, I think,
this is Mind and No Days Off. Yeah.
A mistake. Yeah, this is, we're just getting those graphics set up for you guys. But No Days Off specifically, second place in that match we just saw, Dan, really impressed me so far.
Yeah, being able to quickly move in those early games to get into that western position, but now are they going to be able to move quick enough fighting Mind here at North Pad? That means Mind left checkpoint and instead moved over to North Pad, so that's an interesting decision. You already had a contest happening. Well, it's worked out for them as Mind will wipe out No Days Off. So No Days Off, after an amazing match number 1, the new team who qualified into Pro League, suddenly they then get griefed at North Pad, and Mind have said, you know what, we're not going to give you any easy games, we're not going to give you any easy looting paths. Instead, we'll take the fight to you.
Wonderful stuff. No Days Off again, just mentioning that 18-year-old prowess. Played the Watson, switched, I believe, to Catalyst earlier on, so we'll see how that goes. Infinite, another team, 13 total points. I think they placed around 8th, but with 10 kills, that's why they're sitting at about 4th place overall in the lobby. Kizarone, Aimbot, obviously members of our EMEA Pro League for a while, but showing up really nicely in game 1. And sometimes just getting those kills early on, that's a big confidence booster for teams heading into the next portion of these matches. Sometimes the tactics will come. Sometimes you have to feel out how this lobby is going to move, especially with rotations and how people are playing in zones. You mentioned playing a little safer, rotating early, but if you get kills early on, that at least gives you some confidence going into most engagements that you take.
Now, I'm interested to see where Cold move here, because they were one of the teams who had Ring Console available to them at their drop, as well did Full English, and actually they're both landing in the same spot, so both teams with a very similar idea after seeing where this circle is going to be going, and they want to be holding this northern side over towards checkpoint, but it looks like there's going to be plenty of teams here to try and just inflict some damage as they dropped. Full English and Cold taking the fight, but also 2-1-1C in the vicinity too.
No extended mag on the triple take, but one of my favorite weapons this season by far. So effective in that mid to close range, as well as being able to pepper from long range. We'll see if that continues to push. Seems like they wanted none of that. Catalyst securing the backside of a door as they look for another engagement. You see noises though, and Squad continuing their best to try to push forward and create it. But Cole just going to sit in, pop an ultimate accelerant, make sure that Catalyst wall is ready to go with JMW, Graceful, and Tyler FPS. Graceful, we've seen him be so successful in this Pro League and on broadcast with us as well, Dan. He's a multi-talented threat. He's looking to get a few kills, though. His eyes are focused on this one.
Yeah, whilst we were able to spend more time with him, though, one thing he made very clear, he wants to play, he wants to compete. He's not ready to retire and join us on the desk just yet, and we'll have to see whether he can make his way to LAN once again. It all starts here in the early days here of Pro League. You have to find consistency, you have to be gelling as a squad, as there's a lot of commotion going down underneath Checkpoint, actually, and it looks like Stay Healthy will be taking this fight, and they are staying healthy. They're a player up right now.
Nice shots from the Volt. Thome pushing it as well over the knockdown shield. Can't quite finish it off. The R301 will do it. And that's another 3 kills. Mind going down after that early engagement with no days off. They've been forced into the rotation, and Stay Healthy have stayed just that. But they're not alone. Infinite coming around the corner as well. Will they be a part of this? Will Cole be able to come down from the top? We would expect JMW to maybe have that Catalyst wall close. Tyler FPS does have that Bangalore ultimate. But again, no one finding the exact moment to push. You might give up a little bit more than you get in this regard. So staying patient and keeping height.
And it looks like the circle is going to be kind of heading the northwestern side of the middle of the map, if that makes any sense to you. A lot of checkpoint goers in the moment, and a lot of teams going to be moving there nice and early, as again, SH are going to be having a look over towards another team, and it's going to be plenty of teams just trying to escape the fire that's happening from the high ground. This is what happens on Storm Point when you get a circle that pulls north. If you are one of those southern teams, you have to fight your way uphill, and it can often be so detrimental if you take the fight too early, because then other teams get involved and you're just left with very little to be able to do. Instead, sometimes you want to try and go unnoticed. You want to try and creep through to find a position and then utilize the legend abilities that are available for you. If you've got that horizon, sure, that's great. Then that can help you push a team who's on high ground.
One of the reasons, even in terms of adjusting areas in Storm Point, the developers mentioned making things have a little bit more parity from going high to low or low to high, attempting to do that with lightning rod changes. Right now, though, that's a bit too wide of a thought process. We need to focus right in on Fricks and that R99. People said it was still meta. Well, at least enough for Fricks to get the job done with an L-Star as well. Bullets going into the bodies of his enemies. It seems like that has stayed consistent for Fricks and ExoClan. Young Hong Kong and Bavis, they find a couple of kills and reset with a Phoenix kit.
Yeah, 40% worse, losing 2, and the final player, which I think is Shiv, is going to be retreating just to try and stay alive and maybe rat out for some placement. Now, circle information will be given to everyone who even didn't get ring console, and those teams who are on the southern side are going to get the unfortunate news that they are going to have to head north, maybe cut through Tito Station and end up over towards Checkpoint. So we've lost 2 squads early on, but also a few players have dropped here or there from other teams. We've got a couple who aren't quite a full healthy 3.
Starting off in any type of split, they're always going to have a little bit of hesitancy. We haven't seen that in Game 2. Game 1 certainly played to our expectations, a little bit slower, 19 squads alive for quite a bit of time. We've already lost a couple here. And it seems like people have been very willing to go to the engagements. I think, Dan, that's also a part of the circle, as we had mentioned, pulling north. A little bit more of a predicament for a lot of teams to have to rush plays versus being able to just kind of slowly but surely move their way down south, and kind of an unpredictable map when these things happen. So maybe that's leaning towards why we're seeing teams getting a little more aggressive, but we're also just seeing confidence, and with a lot of new squads as well. Vamo Carrere, 07, you can see multiple opportunities for teams to say, hey, we feel confident with the changes that we made over this last split. We want to put them to the test because we believe in ourselves.
No one banking on station as well, so this is suggesting a very hard pull up towards Checkpoint and surrounding areas, and that is very difficult for the teams moving in late, Rain Day, because we've got like what, 5 chokes around Checkpoint that you've got to try and move through. There's no easy passage really into this POI, and even if you end up getting through the chokes, you might be on the low ground.
Shiv is already out.
Be griefed by those who are above you.
Not out.
Or as Vamos
40% worse is
they
up.
made it to the low ground, but then there was
That's who I
already a
want
team
to do
with them,
good.
and you just don't have the room to play. Sure, there's plenty of pillars that you can hide behind, but you're
successful,
constantly
man.
on the run, and you never really know when you might run into another squad.
And that is the difficulty here. You're going to see it in a moment as this round 2 begins to close. It is a long way from home.
Wow.
For ExoClan Element 6, you see teams like Alliance, they're comfortable, but they're still on the outskirts, actually flying over right now. And you can see on Mill, a fight with Alliance about to take in. These are the ones we call the potential champions. They played the most consistent Apex and EMEA so far. Can they be consistent here in this fight? Hockey's already losing most of the blue shield, 75 health down, but it's fine with the catalyst walls held up and the smokes there to delay. Digi-threat as well to work with. On the rotation, everyone just stalling out of it.
Yeah, great barricades coming from Effect as well, just to try and manipulate this fight in whichever way Alliance want to try and work it. And again, barricades another door, just continuously forcing this team back, frustrating them, poke damage, make them heal, and getting to the position that you want. And now Alliance are able to just find themselves on the outside here. That's what they wanted to get. They didn't want to be stuck in a kind of close quarters fight where they might have been in a poor position, might have been able to get shot from high ground. Now they're able to escape this fight, and they can take it if they want, but they might start thinking about rotation.
And it's just what happens next too, which they're so good at. If they do win that fight, LVH is very, very close by, and they would probably be on the low ground or have put themselves in maybe a bit of an extended position. So wisely pulling out to the outside, as you had mentioned, Dan. What does that though mean for the rotations in the from now on, because they are choosing to maybe try to pepper some of these teams up north? 07 ANC outplayed, running in front of them, behind them still Aftermath as a duo. Yuki keeping eyes in the back of his head and in front as he takes on the role of that conduit. 60 extra health over to Hockey's, which uses it immediately in this engagement. Effect trying to see if he can get some damage, as 07 does look to be maybe on the outskirts of that one. Only 2 alive and some damage already taken.
Yeah, this is a tough one for Alliance, because they know if they get involved, the potential of the team that they were already fighting behind them could then suddenly join them in that skirmish. And this western side is an important area to take, because I spoke about those choke points. The western side has quite a large choke point, one of the bigger ones going into checkpoint, so it is a good position to be able to hold and dominate if you're able to win. But there's like, what, 5 teams here on this west side, so it's not going to be an easy task whatsoever.
ANC outplayed, split in between Alliance and the full English. On top, Effect finally hitting a couple of shots. It's not the laser beam we're used to, but maybe it's not the character we're used to seeing Effect play as well. Notably on the horizon, some changes over the course of the season, but maybe just more of a responsibility. Yuki also on the conduit. We know of him as a 1v1 star, but that character inherently needs to be keeping an eye on her teammates at all times. So as much as they've stayed the same, taking on some different roles and responsibilities this season, Alliance, maybe a sign of growth, maybe a sign of what was missing in terms of getting over that ultimate hump and claiming the championship.
And for some teams who kind of struggled in 3v3 fights, Conduit is the perfect answer, because it just gives you that extra option of a little bit of oomph, a little bit of just firepower that you need in those 3v3 engagements just to try and stay alive. And that survivability can be massive, as now 07, who are holding prime position, some might say right now, are getting pushed. This is where the circle's going to be heading towards, and they were really holding this choke. There's a lot of smoke that's gone down, and Naga's fallen.
This is tough. Nasky seeing Amphi have to get that shield battery off finally, but Nog's probably not able to get back up at this point. They have to go downhill. They're going to hope for a crawl. Maybe that team goes and gets distracted with something else, but it's E6 in case Winnie. I think he's going to keep his eye on the prize here. R99 from that range won't work. 308 in the Nemesis, though. So feeling confident. It's still a 2v2. Trying to get that res. The Arcstar will delay any peak. And it's looking like it's getting worse and worse for Nasky and Amphi as time goes by.
18 squads remain as round 3 starts to close. And this is not what we were seeing in scrims. Everyone playing far more conservative, trying to find those positions, trying to get into those early rotates, as now we're starting to see the kill feed start to light up a little bit. VQ have lost one, so Dell's gone down as well elsewhere. And Alliance still trying to take this fight, and it's Alliance versus former Alliance. You love to see it.
Oh, man. Life's so many moments after games, in lobbies, hanging out with this duo of Hockeys, and now look at this squad, Yuki and Effect. They've made a name for themselves in such a different way. Life's trying to do that as well with his new squad. 17 left, and you're going to see them start to fall here as this zone in the next one begins to pull. And you're right, they just back off. I mean, that seems to be the play that a lot of teams are doing here. It seems to be conservation.
It's just so risky to take these fights with so many teams in the area, and I think they know it. They saw the teams that were coming from the southern side. Elsewhere, AM taking the fight. Karev being the last player remaining goes down. So do ExoClan. Aftermath fall too. We've seen 3 squads just fall in the space of nearly seconds. Now Alliance, who were moving north, say, okay, with you retreating, let's suddenly push south. Let's get this KP is 40% worse. Eliminated. Shiv goes down. Cold also fall. Suddenly we're down to 11, Rain Day.
And this doesn't seem like it was conservation. It seems like it was an awareness of what is going to happen as these teams have to rotate south, and Hockeys and Alliance have picked up on it. from that moment I was talking to now, 7 squads have died. The truth is there's just not enough space so far in Storm Point. Missed Kraber shot from Matafe. They're orgless and hungry. They're still looking for that first meal with the Kraber. Not sure they're going to be able to find it right here, though. Really good use of inside that cover, but they know that that's where they have to go. Trying to find an opening, it's just not going to happen. But behind them comes trouble.
Yeah, this is where they can go, and this is what Alliance have poised themselves for perfectly. Alliance saw where the circle's going, and they
Ooh,
said,
now
if
they're
we
gonna get
control the
pushed.
southern side, we have a chance of winning this game.
Yeah.
We just need to grief. We don't need to commit. Just hold the south side so no one's going to be behind us, and they do that job. They punished Orgless and Hungry, who are trying to desperately survive, but Unlucky will go down. So did 2R1C. 8 squads now remain. Passion win that fight, but Alliance control the southern side of the circle.
I mean, it's just Alliance. That's all that it is. 0-0. I'm not sure what that was. Goes down. Not going to be able to get gotten. I can't tell if that was just looking for something or it was just a poor decision, but he leaves his teammate, goes into a full
So
3,
heat
gets
shields
down,
aren't
not going
in.
to be able to get recovered there. 7 squads remaining. This game has shifted on a knife's edge, and it has shifted all the way
But our
towards
balloons?
Alliance, because as we pulled back wide and revealed, they were the one holding
They are,
the razor
aren't
in
they?
the first place, and have just taken it off the table and stabbed it in their opponent's backs. What a move from them. Primetime position, now LVH, Red Dragons, Element 6, Infinite, and 1 member of 07 still alive, Dan.
Yeah, so E6, Infinite, Red Dragon, 07, they're fighting on that eastern side, and it is going to be a right old skirmish over there. You have to try and stay as healthy as possible because there are so many teams. Infinite go down, but Case when he falls to a grenade, and now that will just be the chance for the other teams to be able to push in and finish off E6 here. Slav will try as he might, but it's not going to work out. 4 squads now, as Red Dragon will eliminate the last remaining player. But look at this again, LVH and Alliance fighting for prime position on the western side.
They've got to keep Yuki alive. He's the conduit. He doesn't have enough right now to get the shielding up, but that's a really good piercing. Spikes from Effect. Oh my goodness gracious. Doesn't miss a bullet. Effect doing Effect things. Hockey's still alive with the red. He shows up and gets deleted. What was that? That was an instant delete button. How did that work? Oh my goodness. Red Dragon, I believe, and LVH with 07 now the only ones alive to make a move.
There's a cheeky Nasky in the lobby, hiding as a lone rat into the top 3, and still has a chance to potentially win this game if you play it right, because now RD are down to just 2. So are LVH, I believe. So Nasky needs to keep close, needs to have a little look in on this one to see if he can pick up some action.
Wifes, we mentioned him as one of the former members of Alliance. He's got a new squad now and something to prove. Will they prove it here? It's LVH, the final 2, and I think it's just Nasky who's gonna show up and say hello. You guys wanna cook? You wanna make something? He's like, nah, we got our meal prepared. We got the dub. LVH, your champion here in game 2 as we kick off our split.
Nasky just a little bit too late to the party, which is exactly his personality. I imagine he's the kind of guy who does turn up late to a party. He's too cool for it, right? But elsewhere, I mean, Alliance, the fact that they weren't able to win that fight because they got griefed by Red Dragon, it was a massive one against LVH on that western side. Those two teams were kind of posturing up against each other for quite some time, and the fact that LVH came out on top in the end, I mean, it was a game-winning fight.
Yeah, it was a game-winning fight. And, you know, what's so curious about it, too, we saw them have a moment against Alliance, but we also saw, really, I think, some of the questions that we stated at the beginning get answered. LVH, a lot to prove. Will they end up performing, especially on their debut, as somebody who's worthy of contending for Europe or EMEA in total? Yes, yes, yes. 7 kills, 12 placement points, a total of 19 to kick it off. 07, you got to give hats off to Nasky for getting 9 points, a 10 points total after not a great fighting game, but overall just a great tactical game. They're even tied with Alliance, but Red Dragon, Element 6 having some monster performances and kills, Dan.
Yeah, I think the kills that we've seen from teams on both sides of the circle, very important. E6 playing in a very different way, but again, showing that they are a squad who will be aggressive, that can play edge effectively. I love the way Alliance played that game. It was so intelligent, but unfortunately for them, when they pushed that western side, they had to take the fight against LVH, and it was just really the extra damage from Red Dragon that pushed them off of the ability to be able to win that game for me, but they still had a very successful one. And then a few teams who really struggled on the other side of the leaderboard, who again just couldn't quite get going. going, whether that be down to a poor rotation, maybe they didn't get ring console information early enough, so they just had to move on a whim. But there was also a couple of teams who lost in those early fights. My heart goes out to the boys who dropped over at Northpad and sadly were griefed by Mind, who had moved from checkpoint, and it's No Days Off, who go from having such an incredible game 1 to then 0 points in game 2.
It is unfortunate to start so well and then have that, but I would rather start really well, I think, and then know that, okay, we got to bounce back, not a great game 2, and then have a game 1 where you get 0 points, not even a chance to play. To me, that just starts the day off wrong. You don't want to go into a 6-game lobby like that, wasting 30% of your options on this map specifically. Overall, they'll be happy with 2. They've got to get something done in 3, and you can see overall with our series, this has been a lot of storylines building in just 2 games. Teams we've expected to play well have played well. Teams that we have challenged to step up to the plate have taken on the challenge. LVH specifically, Jay Hanzo, Lifen, the winners of this game. Lifen carrying the kill load and the damage load as well.
Notice the conduits that we see in the top 3 as well, and how important conduit seems to be in the EMEA region for some of these teams. Has really played a vital part in not just early fights, but some of these late game fights as well. Having a player who's aware of when they need to hit that cube, when you need to shield your teammates, is going to be massive moving forward in this year of ALGS.
Well, that's why also when you look at Nasky, Jukes, and Wives, to me, they play different roles than when we mention Alliance. Yuki, I think they fit a little bit better with their play style of keeping an eye on the team. Yes, being aggressive, but not necessarily being the #1 damage dealer on their squad most of the time in terms of who you would put in a 1v1. Yet Yuki does have that role. So it's also very interesting as we watch this season and this meta develop, which role Catalyst and which player, Conduit actually fits best with. So far, only 2 games to go by. We'll continue
40% worse isn't in last.
LVH lands at the top. ANC outplayed, and Red Dragon right behind them. Red Dragon, Infinite, and Alliance in a 3-way tie with 20 points all the way down to 5th. And then again, teams on the bottom half, Dan, trying to desperately get their way back up in game 3.
And just a final note on the Conduit, I love that you've picked up on that and play styles and who should be playing Conduit as well, because there are 2 approaches. You can give it to a support player who's going to be kind of at the back of the pack, who can see everything, but you can also put it on your most aggressive player as well, because you shield yourself as well as shielding a teammate. So it just allows you to have that extra little bit of shield in that fight, in that skirmish, and that's why we might see some of the teams who do like to have an aggressive player playing Conduit as well.
Going to be an exciting thing to unfold as the day goes on. So much more ALGS action coming up right after the break. Game 3 coming at you.
All right. While this is away, I will be back. Whoa. There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay, so
Why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
what? Where? Shit, beam scheme. back. Get to it. Get by the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking
dog.
done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into. Oh. Go for Costa.
Wings out.
No.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Wrong one. That one.
It should be a pretty easy job, but we said this before when we've seen VQ in this fight, and it didn't go their way. So let's see if they can be shouting Vamos after this one is done and dusted. They have got that initial knock, and they have the high ground, but can they be quick on collapsing now on the last player alive, which is going to be Kazakh?
Yeah, last time Red Dragon, they just retreated as a 2, but the fact that they've been able to get 2 knocks now means that they really dominated this fight. So they may have lost it in match number 1, but they've turned it around to make it a 2-1 victory across Storm Point. I think Vamo Korea will be very happy about that one. They've had to live through a few contests, or has Kashira throughout his time in the ALGS. Often said that he was targeted because teams thought that they maybe could take advantage of their quick rotations. Well, they were able to win that fight and certainly get a nice little early engagement going in their favor. But again, it's going to be back up to a 2 for Red Dragon, and they will be retreating. So even though they were able to get that initial knock, they weren't able to solidify the full wipe.
Yeah, and it's going to be an opportunity to craft some banners and get back in the game again with Conduit in that composition. So game not over for sure. And I will say on contest, sometimes it's important if you're a full 3, I would say, in that situation, to try and chase down that final player, that final weak couple of players, just to not only assert dominance on the POI down, but just to make sure that that team doesn't get to come back and bite you a little bit later on if they do have that conduit and the ability to res in that composition. Aftermath, though, going to be on our screen. They're going to be looting up right now. And excuse me, this is going to be Alliance, who, of course, do own all of this real estate on the northwestern side, northeastern side. Still after all these years now, my compass doesn't work, but still, you get the point. All right, Alliance have got a lot of work and a lot of loot to pick up over on that side.
You said it was a southern circle as well. I was just, at this point, we just need to buy you a compass.
Now
We need to give you
do
one.
you know what? I'm going to invent my own directional GPS, and everyone else is just going to, I'm not going to tell anyone else what it is, so therefore I can't be wrong.
I think onset GPS would really pop off, and I'd definitely buy into it if it was on Dragon's Den. As the Red Dragons...
It takes you 8 hours to do 20-minute journeys.
Crazy, really, that you're right. Yeah, you want to try and finish off those fights, not only because they might come back to bite you, but also your loot path can be very much harmed by that team who is then retreating and also looting as they retreat, depending on which way they go. But I think it's something we're seeing that's very different from scrims now compared to tournament play, is that people are actually surviving a little bit more and not taking those risks, as everyone just wants to get to that late game.
Yeah, I think the conduit meta, again, is a contributing factor to that, and another reason to chase the players down, right? You just can't let them get back in the game. I think if you win that contest, you get those knocks, you've got to be quick. You've got to try and finish it. Otherwise, why wouldn't the team come back and contest you in the next game as well, right? Well, no days off. We're going to have their shields taken off. Good shots initially with the 30-30 repeater, but now they're going to have to just stay healthy, and they're in a really good position as well, as the zone does look like it's going to be pulling towards Pylon here. One of the new POIs that we do see, of course, here on Storm Point.
Yeah, Pylon, Echo, Coast seem to be where everyone's kind of heading at the moment. There's no days off. They've lost one. It's whether the two remaining players can actually do some damage. The Volt in the 2 times is not something I like putting together, but it can work in the right hands. And you can see it's doing some flash damage there as well, but not enough to get that next knock. I think it's a 2v2 right now, but suddenly, just like that, wiped away on No Days Off. And it's, unfortunately, another game where they fall early after their early success in match number 1.
And that fight is a prime example of why Nasky decided I need a couple of roller boys with me, because they can get that damage down. They can be a huge influence on those team fights if he can direct them into the right position. So the battle for Pylon and the rotate is going to be won by 07 and Passion, who are over now at the Devastated Coast. They're in one of the higher ground positions, which can allow them to just rain down a lot of damage. And you can also see you've got Cold there, you've got August and Hungry neighbors, but one of them looking a little bit more uncomfortable than the other.
Yeah, this could be a very similar circle to what we saw yesterday in APAC. Where it did end towards the Devastated Coast down here, and the high ground could be everything, but also depending on where the circle pulls, could be a detriment depending on how it goes. Composition going to be everything when we get to the final circles as well. Having a horizon could be great. A catalyst will be very important as well to cut off some of the vision. As Cold, they're down to 2, and they might just go from bad to worse here. They're just trying to survive.
Yeah, you can see this is former teammate against former teammates, right? Tyler has gone down, so he's not going to be able to influence this fight for now. They do use the Catalyst Wall to at least delay this fight a little bit, and by doing so, you can see maybe with a knock coming in as well, and a little bit of help from Alliance and Hackis up on that high ground. Cold able to survive for now, but it's actually E6 in the middle of all of this carnage. I don't quite know how they've managed to thread this needle, but they're alive, and they've got kind of back up.
Kind of, yeah, and at least at the moment, they could potentially look to try and just restabilize a little bit.
Is August and Hungry still?
Yes, August and Hungry against Cold. Graceful taking a lot of damage and might have got knocked there as well. It means JW is going to have
the
all
fucking
to do
overlays.
As
If the casters can't even know what the fucking team is on.
Oh, let's see if they can get Unlucky back in the game.
Good lord.
In the meantime, they were in that pinch, and it's going to be Alliance who moved up. And one thing I love about Alliance and how they rotate to this zone is they do have the Trident available over on the northeast. Thank you. Landing spot that they have, they can get into these southern zones pretty quickly just by going down from the east side of the map to the south. I have a real compass in my hand right now, Dan.
I believe it. I bet it's like it's slightly bronze and
it was a
tarnished as well.
Yeah, it was a total lie. Sorry. 2R1C trying to do a little bit of damage here. They're going to be inside one of these little buildings. The difficulty of holding these buildings, as you can see, though, on the Devastated coast, kind of lends itself to the name of the POI, right? This is not a place with freshly built buildings. A lot of damage being done means there's a lot of line of sight, and you have to be able to spin around very quickly, deny and position yourself from other teams having those lines of sights onto you. So it's not just a case of hunkering down here. You need to be active, as these teams are showing.
And whilst we see all the commotion that's happening down in the southeast side of the map, spare a thought to Mind and Vamokare and Red Dragon, who are all moving from the north, and they're going to have to arrive to the party extremely late. So much so the party may be over. Full English, they've moved pretty quickly, though, I will say, from the north side of the map. But again, it's going to be quite difficult for them, because if you try and make your way into Devastated Coast from either side, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, there's going to be eyes on you and very little room to play. And then once you arrive, there's not really cover to work with if you're coming through some of those chokes on the east and southern side too. So it's going to be tough, but you know, I've seen some people do some crazy things. There are ways of being able to change the geometry of the map as well. Maybe you can use a horizon to try and take a high ground advantage, or even use an evac tower to try and fly and surprise the team.
Well, Hackers is having fun at the moment, because this position from Alliance just allows them to do so much damage to teams. I mentioned how these buildings are broken, and that teams who are inside of them, well, you're going to have line of sights available. So Hackers at the moment is just trying to get those Evo shields up. Only needs 70 damage until it's red. And I tell you what, it's a perfect opportunity for us to jump into our first listening. So let's hear what Alliance have to say.
Let's displace there.
Cute.
They ain't saying shit.
Where are the fucking prowlers? I'm going to
There's a
loot that
spider
box
coming
over
to chase you. There's a spider chasing you all the way up at look.
there.
Got a spider here.
Could he even come that far?
I'm looting this box with you, okay? You watch everything.
Okay, shit, Jesus. By the way, try to group up more heavy. I'm gonna need it soon, okay? If there's from the powders.
I got purple.
You got no ammo, okay?
I got them.
I'm gonna put the car in a better spot.
Group up where? On you?
They just drop heavy somewhere, so I have extra.
Okay. I have 200.
You got a
heavy.
Peter Haggis, right?
Yeah, I have 100 right now, but it's just so I can keep spamming.
Okay. I mean, I can switch the light ammo from back under mine effects taking it. It's all good.
Yeah, I have
I mean,
69.
there should be a bunch of extra.
I have 200
Finally,
heavy.
he came out.
Alive.
My frames are fucking dog shit here. I have 90 FPS.
I was going to say, it's nice to hear the boys' voices. It's nice to get acquainted with them, but information-wise, Dan, not too much to take away from that listening.
Except a spider was chasing one of them. That's about the information we got out of it. You've got to be careful with prowlers and spiders lurking on Storm Point, that's for sure. Now, this is where the action's going down, though. You can see EXO at the moment being chased by LVH. LVH, who have already shown what a dominant force they are in 3v3 engagements, so EXO need to be a little bit careful.
Echo HQ is going to be the location of this fight, and it's fairly isolated. It looks like actually Exo Clan are in the vicinity as well. So there's 3 teams in and around Echo, which is why nobody wants to commit at the moment. And I think that ANC Outplayed are just trying to get away from some of this action. You see that on your screen, LVH will be safe in this little corner, and they've also got a couple of cat cues to put down to make that a little bit more of a sticky situation. And look, XOQ, they've seen this going on and have decided, hey, this is our opportunity to scarp a buy, and sometimes that's a good window of opportunity you have to recognize, Dan. When there's 3 teams in the vicinity, if 2 start to poke at each other, you can use that to hit your rotate.
That being said, moving too early can also be down to your detriment at times, as Full English will take their fight, and you can see EXO just lost a player on their rotation too, as Full English, they're down to 1.5 at the moment. Bryn gonna try and bat up. They've got at least a knockdown shield to work with, but now it's just Noises.
Noises on his own as well. You can see the cat wall really caused him some problems because his vision is going to be impaired, and now he's deciding to do a little bit of mountain goat work and see if he can get over these rocks and get away, because he recognized that that is not a good position for him to try and be in. He's going to be chased down though, and you can see that Famokea want to try and clean up this damage, and they have to. They have to go forward until that zone closes, and they've got a lot of business to take care of in front of them.
Yeah, they know they don't have the time to work with here, so they have to be moving somewhat quickly, and they might be able to pick up some extra KP on the way, as they already have done, as Noises now, fight as he might, will go down and Full English get eliminated. 15 squads remaining, so everyone picking up placement points that's left in the lobby now, and VQ can just kind of loot up for a little bit, but then they will have to start moving to the southeast side. Now, for EXO, who we saw earlier, I believe that they lost a player or 2, and that's the downside sometimes of moving into the circle a little bit too soon. They get eliminated, but Alliance also get eliminated, and we see now LVH and Outplayed still holding the south side of the circle.
Yeah, one of the issues for Alliance with the spot they were playing, it was great to get damage, but they were always going to be forced to take a fight at some point to force their way into zone. And with so many teams already inside of that zone, they were just going to take damage from too many angles. And it looks like that was exactly the case of what did go down. And elsewhere, you could see on the western side of things here, where that zone is at the moment, that ANC Outplayed, they're still there. LVH are still there as well. 2 teams who have already had a little taste of each other in our game number 1.
Ooh, good crack.
Naski trying to take control of the northern side of things here, but they're going to be forced to retreat.
Yeah, not only forced to retreat, but also forced to use that Dark Veil early. But there was obviously the kind of backup plan here. They knew they had the building, and it was okay. We can poke, we can prod, but if anything gets hairy, we drop the ultimate and we just retreat back to our building that we can work with. So that works out nicely for 07. This isn't going to be a building that's going to keep them alive for the entire game. They will still have to move southeast, but for now, they can stay there as other teams have kind of arrived and now landed above them. So it's going to be quite a sticky situation for them to try and get through.
Yeah, it's a really good evac from Red Dragon, and this is one of the new pieces of geometry that has been added to Storm Point. Previously, that rotate was so rough. You had to kind of walk all the way uphill, but this way, at least you've got a little bit of a kind of a checkpoint, like you mentioned, to continue your rotate to go from point A to point B without being completely shredded from teams who are just holding that high ground. So this wall is a little bit in premium position. You can see right now they've managed to reset, and they should be safe to move in.
Well, the circle is going to be moving very much to the southeast side of Devastated Coast. So those teams who committed early are going to be in prime position. August and Hungary, E6, 40% worse, 2R1C, all looking in a good spot right now. For everyone else who's outside, they're going to have to either take some fights, look for some KP here, or move soon. You can be the last team to arrive as Liffin shreds for 180 and is just trying to get some extra knocks here and try and finish off this team.
Yeah, the damage is done, but the problem is Hanzo has gone down, but it's not going to be enough to really turn this fight on its head. Viv's just going to get a pretty comfortable cleanup and res. But is anyone else in position to take advantage of this fight? You can see that 07, they're going to be the team who has to make the move, and they are being held out by Red Dragon. They've been held out by Vamo Carrere, and you can also see that Aftermath are in the vicinity as well. So there's 3 or 4 teams here that have to move through and stay healthier, just swinging out a little bit to their east to have a look if this fight goes down, and everyone has to scrap if they can pick up a couple of KP as well.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if only one team survives from this northwest side, and it might not even be a full 3 that survives, to be honest, with what's going to go down and the amount of bullets that are going to be flying everywhere. It will entirely depend on whether people want to commit to trying to out-rotate one another, use the likes of evac towers to try and get up and above people, or whether they will just look for KP, recognizing that this is too much of a difficult circle to actually try and play for. On the southwest side, LVH own that southwest side, but when they arrive to circle, they're going to be griefed as well. So anyone who's not in the circle right now is in a tough spot for sure.
This is such a good rotate, though. You saw, I talk about threading the needle when teams are preoccupied with each other. Look at 07. They managed to sneak through the tunnel and now find themselves safe in the zone. But with a team behind them, Naski lines up the shot but can't connect, and now the pressure comes in, and that could be a difference maker here.
Could be a difference maker. Insinn goes down to try and keep alive, but Naski now just trying to dip, dodge, dive, duck to stay alive as best as he can. Remember, he ratted out to the top 3 in the previous game. Will get a chance to reset with the bat and has a knockdown shield to work with. Elsewhere, all those teams from that northwest side are fighting now. Red Dragon, Aftermath, Stay Healthy, VQ, all looking at one another.
And who's inside the zone again? Right deep inside of it. It's going to be LVH. Team who are playing so well today as a unit, positionally and in those team fights. They're in a great spot. Aftermath eliminated as well. 11 squads now remaining as we see the fights continue to take place, as 11 squads is not a position you want to have if you want to win the game and you're in this northern fight, because there's too many teams to almost take care of with everybody stacked up on top of each other.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Got to be careful peeking that aggressively. Didn't have a digi, but there was at least a response that came through from the rest of the team. As you say, there's so many players at the moment who are in difficult positions that are just trying to stay alive and using any
queue? I
they can
could not tell how they move like that.
As 07 eventually get eliminated, we're down to 9 squads, and you're completely right about LVH, by the way. The fact they were able to fly whilst all this commotion was happening from that southwest side to now the southeast. But as we say that, LVH eliminated in the kill feed by August and Hungry, who take them down.
Yeah, August and Hungry, recognizing they were the worry for them. They maybe got a little bit of an armor check in the fight and decided, hey, if we push them out now while everyone else is fighting on the other side of the zone, then we command even more space here, even more of a god spot, and more importantly, even more loot to play with. And kinda, he has a digi threat as well. No Bangalore in the lineup, but if they get smoked and pushed, he's gonna be able to do damage.
So a slight calm before the storm as round 5 now. We'll be closing. Stay Healthy, Red Dragon, E6, 40% worse, 2R1C, all have to move. August and Hungry, VQ and Cybercats can stay where they are for now.
Red Dragon gone down, 7 squads now remaining. The high ground is only safe for the time being, but E6 have managed to, at least through all the carnage that's been going down, get themselves back to a full 3. Vamo Carrere going to be eliminated as well. So now we have ourselves with 6. But with a little bit less of a congested lobby, there's an opportunity here for them to maybe find somewhere to play. But look at 40% worse. This is their zone. This is where they were dropping, and now maybe they have an opportunity to put some points on the board.
And now E6, they were fine and dandy in the hype, but now they have to drop and they have to join the engagement. Slap hits the Beast of the Hunt to try and get any extra vision. Does shred, but falls himself as 40% worse. They're eliminated, but E6, they stay alive and might be able to get Slap back on his feet.
But look who's trying to move in and clean it up. It's going to be Kinda and August and Hungry. They see the opportunity to third party and take control of this southern side of the zone, and they're doing exactly what they did against LVH just a few moments ago. They want to own this zone. They want all the space they can find, and boy, they are doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, that was great aggression, similar to what we saw from Alliance in the previous game, just recognizing which area of the map you have to own, and you can't allow teams to take space on you. And now August and the Hungry will have the entire of the southern side, and they force anything that remained up to the northern side, which will then prove a problem for those who reside there. So Stay Healthy, Cybercats, Element 6 are on the north.
They didn't see him. Cybercats survive. Oh no, you gotta put your glasses on. It's as simple as that. And will that come back to bite Stay Healthy? That's the question. HQ is going to be destroyed. They have control of this building, and they have sent a zone, but they don't know that Solo is there.
Not just one, there's two. E6 also have a remaining player, K Swinney, the man who likes to be a thorn in anyone's side. I'm sure could prove to be a problem in this final circle as well, especially as a bang. Having the ability to smoke, if he has a digi as well, could really be a massive threat in this final zone.
He had a grenade in his hand. He looked like he was about to do some serious damage with it as well.
Evac tower going to be taken down. And August and Hungry on set, I mean, they own this southern side. They're in great position, but it's all about these rats. K Swinney, though, has been spotted out and the rat trap has been laid.
It certainly has. He had an armor swap to play with. The only problem is he doesn't have it anymore. Blue shields is all he's going to have. They tried to push, but weren't able to deal with it. Does he have a bang ult? Because that could cause some real problems in these final moments as well. August and Hungary, they took control of this south side of the zone, and they have spotted out the final player. Cybercats will be eliminated, and now you can see the Solo has an opportunity here, everyone. Because August and Hungary could do damage, and SH could do damage to August and Hungary that might open the door for a little Swinney rat play.
Swinney in the top 3. And as you say, we've seen it happen before. We've seen rat plays still find victories, but mainly he's going to be looking to try and finish top 2 as now Dark Veils go down. Just to give a little bit more coverage, a little bit of an ability to move here. But OH, they try and respond with some ults of their own, but E6 go down. K Swinney's fallen. Now it's a straight 3v3.
Straight 3v3. The only problem is one team has extreme height, but they will have to drop in just a few moments' time. The Conduit always down as well. They're having to retreat to the other side of that Dark Veil, but the first knock comes in, and it's going to be Kinda who falls, but August and Hungry will clean up the damage.
Good game.
And the team who have been through a lot
Damn.
in the last few
All right,
days
I was there.
return to the fort here in EMEA. Their first...
Whoa, whoa. There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay, so
Why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
what? Where? Shit, beam scheme. I'm back. Get to it. Get by the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fucking, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking
dog.
done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into. Oh.
Thermite out.
Stopper caustic.
Wings out.
No.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Clip that. Clip it. Then why Cyclops got this man dirty. Clip it.
Oh fuck! I'm seeing stars.
Yo, I'm sweating Modelo right now.
And who is this in front of me? Chris, move.
Oh, I can't move.
Chris, you gotta be in charge of your screaming. Clip this shit.
I bet my dad wouldn't care.
I can't.
I think that's what he's doing right now, Mil. Jump over him.
Shit.
I can't move. I'm tapped out. I'm maxed out on fucking.
You shitting me right now?
No, I'm serious.
You got 20-something seconds.
Fuck. God damn it.
Dude, I hate that they make this so fucking good.
You see we're getting a buff every single time someone shows up.
No.
We have
This is the
7
Prayers of
stacks
Hope
that
one?
buff. Yep. As soon as I heard this part, I was like, I need to do this trial with him.
Oh, I'm crying. This is the best. I'm fucking crying again. Oh my god.
No life, no star, nor the universe itself.
The star still has secrets to tell.
None should hope for better.
Is this chaos? Front of me!
Is that you, Shun?
He really got me. He's right here.
He fucking shit out of Chris.
I got him though.
I was doing bad, so.
This guy, his name's FBI.
Asshole.
The FBI
Somebody just banged on my window. Hold on.
I hope to God. Oh man.
A few moments later.
Bruce?
Yeah.
Did you play a fucking banging thing? Oh my
I
god.
hate it so much.
What the fuck, dude? I just fucking Splinter Cell fucking cleared my house. My desk is right next to a window, but it's like a blackout thing.
I thought
And
you
fucking
knew, bro.
Dude,
I
I
thought there
fucking...
was like a split chance, and I was like, I hope to God he really doesn't know.
Dude.
I even said it.
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I fucking gunned straight at the window. Just fucking damn. I was right up. I was like, what the fuck? And I fucking flashlight cleared my whole house. Like, what the fuck? Went out on the porch. I was looking in the snow for footprints next to the window. What the fuck? I was like, wait, if fucking Chris played that thing.
Colin and I live in the same place, and he. Yeah, really? Oh shit!
No!
Watch his computer crash now.
Right.
His game will crash.
Ooh. Ooh. I fucking got it, boy.
What made you just call that out?
Watch you accidentally select the ring.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I thought we were gonna land, dude.
we did land.
Oh my. That was awesome.
Everyone looking at the.
On my way.
Triple kill. Victory.
Oh, you get him, Mel. That's 2 headshots with no scope with a fucking sniper. They fucking think I'm cheating, bro.
You made me want to eat another almond.
Why? Because you had water? Or I had water? Is that why?
Yep, that's exactly why.
Interesting.
Chris Hands. That's right.
Nice.
Got a pad?
No, no, they're fine. Yeah.
Dumpty spotted. Get there. We're all inside the ring. Fantastic. Check me up.
Knocked them all. Oh my good god. Holy dick.
Damn. Yep, I just got 2 assists.
I was with Phil, and I'm looking around like, there's only one other shade of blue. It's up! What the actual fuck? You guys, you were the dumbest fucks! It wasn't me! I was with Phil!
I literally just said,
Oh shit!
Oscar, I'm so upset with you, but it's so fucking funny.
Fucking yelled his name, bro.
Oh! Oh! Fucking open the door! Oh, I see it! Fucking open it! Get me the fuck out! This is why I'm in the van. This is why I'm in the fucking van all the fucking time. Fuck that shit. I'm done. Bullshit. It's a fucking demon.
Pay attention to the dialogue here.
Oh my fuck. Is it happening? Is it fucking happening? This is the one thing I wanted to fight this entire time. I'm fucking you. I'm a wreck this shit right now, dude. I'm so fucking hard. I'm so fucking happy. I'm gonna cry. This is literally my favorite GF, bro. I'm fucking crying.
Do you know how long I've had to hold in the fact that this thing exists?
I fucking love Quizziquat. I'm tearing up. I can't see. Trying to come at me with your bullshit rules, but I come on in and I say fuck you. Get forward smash, you bitch ass bayo.
Just for people we know.
Just for friends, yeah, and you fall in that line category, so yeah, if you want.
Can I fall in that line as well, even though I live here?
Yeah. You're moving here.
Do I pay him money or is it like a sex thing?
Does somebody record that and I can send it to Dad?
Wait, let me see if I have Shadow Play on.
Yeah, I do actually.
Fuck.
You single fire dickhead, you dick.
Oh my god.
Demon, Chris.
Oh my god.
Let's go, bitches!
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Revenant. Fucking clip!
Whoa, whoa. There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay. So
Why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
where? Shit, Beamski, come back. Get by the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking
dog.
done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into oh. Go for caustic.
Wings out.
I don't know.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Clip that. Clip it. The White Claws got this man dirty. Clip it.
Oh fuck, I'm seeing stars.
Yo, I'm sweating Modelo right now.
And who is this in front of me? Chris, move.
Oh, I can't move.
Chris, you gotta be in charge of your screaming clip this shit.
I bet my dad wouldn't care.
I can't be
I
doing
think
all
that's what
this.
he's doing
right now, Mel.
Oh.
Jump over him.
I can't move. I'm tapped out. I'm maxed out on fucking.
You shitting me right now?
No, I'm serious.
You got 20-something seconds.
Fuck. God damn it.
Dude, I hate that they make this so fucking good.
Will shine you see we're getting a buff every single time someone shows up.
No.
We have
Is the
7
Prayers of
stacked
Hope
with that
one?
buff. Yep. As soon as I heard this part, I was like, I need to do this trial with him.
Oh, I'm crummy. This is the best. I'm fucking crying again. Oh my god.
No life, no star, nor the universe itself.
The star still has secrets to tell.
None should hope for better.
Is this chaos? Front of me! He really got me. He's right here.
He fucking shit out of Chris.
I got him though.
I was doing bad, so.
This guy, his name's FBI.
Asshole.
The FBI
Somebody just banged on my window. Hold on.
I hope to God. Oh man.
A few moments later.
Chris?
Yeah.
Did you play a fucking banging thing? Oh my
I
god.
hate it so much.
What the fuck, dude? I just fucking Splinter Cell fucking cleared my house. My desk is right next to a window, but it's like a blackout thing.
I thought
And
you
fucking
knew, bro.
Dude,
I
I
thought there
fucking...
was like a split chance, and I was like, I hope to God he really doesn't know.
Dude.
I even said it.
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I fucking gunned straight at the window. Just fucking... Damn. I was right up. I was like, what the fuck? And I fucking... Flashlight cleared my whole house. Like, what the fuck? Went out on the porch. I was looking in the snow for footprints next to the window. What the fuck? I was like, wait, if fucking Chris played that thing.
Colin and I live in the same place, and he.
Really? Oh shit!
Go!
Watch his computer crash now.
Right.
His game will crash.
Ooh. Ooh. I fucking got it, boy.
What made you just call that out?
Watch you accidentally select the rate.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I thought we were gonna land, dude.
BRs, but specifically Apex. I find that I made this reference before, not on broadcast, but it's kind of like the multiverse of madness where there's these different timelines. And I feel like most teams can realize these timelines by taking action or taking inaction. And you basically have a chance, maybe a window, a small moment, where if you push this, you win this fight, the rest of the game opens up to you and you actually have a clear path to victory. But if you don't, maybe your path to victory isn't for another 6 minutes and you have to just hold tight and then win that fight. And I think part of it is that when you see a team that understands how to take the best path consistently, I look at North America, I think TSM is fantastic at knowing when to push those paths, when to sit tight and wait for that moment. I think when you see that in the EMEA, Passion showing a great opportunity of, hey, this is our moment, we get a big team out, we get a great spot towards in zone, and now Passion sitting in maybe one of the best spots in the game.
I just want to quickly go back and talk about August and Hungary. They did leave Siphon. Of course, we've seen where the zone is going. They are playing from launch site at the moment down on the southern tip, and they're going to be able to rotate down from the high ground if they can hold out any late rotators through. So they might be in a pretty good position to actually be involved in this end game and approach with a walk-in that is very, very strong. Speaking of Siphon, though, you can see the one building that will be still inside of this zone before it starts to pull away a little bit is going to be Red Dragon. And they've been kind of in and around the top 10s a few times today, but not quite been able to contribute to that final fight.
One thing I'm noticing too, you mentioned Orglis and Hungary taking kind of an edge approach. Element 6 as well. We're seeing two of the most veteran leaders in terms of IGLs, Matafe and K Swinney, taking this slower approach to this type of zone. If you are a betting person, it's probably a good sign that that's a good direction of how to play this one. A lot of teams though for that very center spot, and now we're starting to see a few drop. Kurev, who had that great play
more accurate.
in the hallway last game, ultimately going
You're not
down
ready.
to 2R1.
And then it hits, and you're like, oh shit.
White for that squad, but still damage being done for Aftermath.
Time to get some planets thrown at you.
Different RV still in the center of zone, but it's going to be difficult possibly to maintain that yet again. And especially with Nasky on top of them, but it doesn't seem like that's caught their attention. As we get back into an overview of the map, Mark, a lot of different ways for this to go.
It is
Teams pretty
ALGS? Okay.
content, though, not to
started today.
push this too far right
It's
now. at least until the zone
EU.
forces them.
And then
we
it's
saw ANC outplayed, who are center zone at the moment. They were the team that flew into that truck. Right? They took
NA
that early. And
after.
I like the fact that they're taking.
It's pretty good. The team I want to do well is doing just okay, but
team just stuck inside and trying to bunker down and not looking to control space and deal damage on teams rotating in. It's such an important thing for them to do, especially with what I've described as a little bit of a low priority defensive structure with that truck to work around. It's not completely safe. You don't have huge doors that you can play behind and kind of peek shot from. So they've got to control space, and they're going to know there's going to be teams rotating in from launch site. One of them is going to be August and Hungary. There's an interesting fight actually developing over at launch site with Cold 40% worse and August and Hungary all there and all knowing that they will have to fight for that choke. But E6 inside a tree at the moment on these platforms, they have height over a lot of these teams surrounding them, so they should be able to do a really, really good amount of damage.
August and Hungary and 40% worse, definitely also interesting. 40% worse, at least as we check down the team running in Bangalore. So far, August and Hungary may have swapped over in World's Edge, but at least in Storm Point, that was the case. And in these types of situations, that Bangalore ultimate actually very vital, especially when you're moving, rotating, and looking to take an engagement.
yeah, the team I want to do well is in 14th right now.
2R1C, Ushako, and Shiv FPS, just as we mentioned.
Out of
20 technically for this round. I think there's 40 groups, like Group A, B, C, D. So it's like A and B play against each other today. Then tomorrow I think it's C and D, and then they do each one, and then whoever comes out on top with the point after they play each other go into the top 20. Then they play the top 10 teams from EU, and then the top 10 teams from NA go to LAN.
Lava Siphon at the moment, and Jaco has gone down, but is he going to be resable, or will they have to play this one out as a duo? It looks like they have managed to get him back to his feet. And now you can see Vamokader. They've moved away from that truck, or have they moved away from that truck? I think they're still inside. Kishera back on the crypto as well is going to be able to get so much information on what's going on around them.
More specifically, last season, playing that crypto, causing havoc, being that thorn in your side right when you're taking an engagement, to have that EMP hit, take 50, slow you down, and obviously give what was previously a Sin, now Vamo Carrera and Ashera, a chance to move in. Cold, though, after getting 3 of the kills, maybe 2 of their total 5 points that they got on this round.
I think the team I wanted to win is out.
Grenade up into the air, could land.
Because this guy's looting the team's body.
JMW graceful, not going to
Their name popped up on the death box, and I was like, ah, hell.
Cole going to have to go defensively here, and JMW, the beautiful thermite, is going to be able to just slow that push down for a few seconds, which is vital for those shield cells to be popped.
Alright, it's only day one.
These fights is everything, and that thermite has maybe just made this a 50-50 instead of a 60-40. August and Hungry want to push this. We mentioned how this is the fight to rotate into the north side of zone and control that choke. Well, now it's going down.
Ooh, and he missed that one big time. Unlucky though, gets up off the gravity lift. The spacewalk passive means he slides a little farther than any other character would have done, and that means he gets 56 more damage than most other legends would have. Horizon coming in with a spacewalk, and Orglis and Hungry.
Damn, that team just got shit on. This team pushed a team, cleared them, and then got pushed by another team, and instant kill. Cracked. Oh, no. They're popping shields. They're all right. Never mind.
And then push this solo player.
They should be dead, though.
Well,
that team's dead. No, that team didn't die. What the fuck is going on?
Pop the shield battery, and that is going to be the end of the game. This is right. Oh, and he wins one, but can't turn it into a 1v2. But what he has just done is grief the game, because now kind of isn't going to have time with the zone closing behind.
See, I don't like early game ALGS. Like matches, but late game when there's like 40 teams in a ring that's fucking the size of pretty much everybody's got red or gold, and they're having to fight in like
towards tree.
one building.
Side of things.
So it's like 6 teams fighting each other.
Outside of where the rotation has occurred. Orglis and Hungry still have 2. Maybe they have a mobile respawn.
That's when it gets fun.
Craft the banner. Could see some heroics there, but right now we're following Element 6, who are creeping in on the hallway and looking to take the lead from Slab on the Bloodhound.
Big damage coming in. And Element 6 doing a great job of holding teams off, trying to output damage. And this is all about controlling space. This is what I was talking about. It's not just your building, it's the 20 or 30 yards surrounding it that you want to be in control with. And Swinny wants this done. He wants this finished. The hit point is pretty good. But
damn, that movement.
Now he's got to worry about the zone.
Very risky, but I like it. Slab goes down in that, cracked as well. Not around. Arcstar going to get destroyed by the Watson Jin inside.
That movement was crazy.
With the Bangalore ultimate. One of the
That movement was crazy, making me want to play Titanfall.
Not a lot that he needs to use it for here. Sherbert's still alive from no days off after that early win at Tree.
Oh my god.
Man, Elements. He's
just so
smooth. Just a Sentinel in a Mozambique. You never know. Anything could happen at this point with Sherbert, but Element 6 do a great job of clearing out their aggressors.
With the movement?
As a Sentinel, then
yeah.
Just saying, his percentage chance of winning the game has gone up a little bit. But E6, they're in a prime position here. You can see they're in the only building, one of the only buildings that's still inside of this zone. Not only are they in the building, they control both levels of it as well, the height and the one below it, which means that anyone who wants to move in, they're going to have to try and fight against a team up on height. Now,
yeah, if your game isn't lagging and shit.
Hope the rest of the lobby takes care of each other on this northern side, where you can see the other teams are starting to stack up a little bit, and then they can move in and pounce.
Most of the time, your game just lags and you can't do anything.
Really good for creating the space for them to move in.
Oh shit! There's a League of Legends
important fight here from
tournament this weekend too.
And Andy Jack's going to grab another KP, and that is going to put them in a top 5 situation. Top 4, I believe, and it's going to be still E6 holding down the building below. The zone has stopped moving in. 4 squads left. Passion, after that early fight, the pick off onto Alliance to take the God spot. Well, it's worked out. Top 4 at least guaranteed. At least 5 points.
Too early.
Third place will get them at least 7. But they've got to survive. And Ansi outplayed for all it's worth. Mark, they've done a hell of a job keeping this trailer intact.
They have, and in the meantime, they've held the trailer. Well, E6 have made their move. They've now moved to the north side. They've cleaned up 1 team. So 3 squads still remaining. ANC outplayed are just waiting to see this damage being done. And now it's going to be their time to move in. Move from the truck and see if they can take the high ground away. Passion will fall in the meantime. It's E6 versus ANC outplayed. And the question is,
I want to know everybody's input. That's what I want to know. I want to see what people are playing, like controller or mouse and keyboard, so I can be more impressed. Yeah.
It's not the buy one blade, but this time he uses.
You are not him.
To seal the deal in our first game on World's Edge. Element 6 on a run.
You love to see it from E6, right? They've been picking up points today. They've been putting themselves in position to make sure that they are contributing to the leaderboards with KP. Well, now they add KP to a first place finish. And I got to say, the way that they controlled the space around that building when everyone started to try and play underneath it, that was the difference maker for me. And then the opportunity seized, like you mentioned.
Damn, I'm getting fucking Final Fantasy VII Rebirth commercials with Butterfinger. I'm about to go buy a box. About to go to a gas station and be like, I want the whole case.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, I think we caught
the advertising works
perspective for the beginning of the fight.
Hell yeah.
You could just see 2 players down. You could just tell from the pace of that fight how effective Element 6 were, barely missing any bullets, and 21 points. A well-deserved, hard-fought battle.
Yeah.
From the perspectives we saw, it seemed like they definitely did a lot to get there. Passion ANC outplayed, though. They played great games of their own. No days off, bouncing back. A good game in game 1 of Stormpoint. Now a good game in game 1 of World's Edge. They're setting themselves up for a decent finish today if they can keep this up. And as we head to the backside of this, Mark, obviously there's going to be in our bottom 10 teams some people who don't get off to a good start. And one of those teams, surprise, it's Alliance. We know what happened with them. Anybody else catching your eye?
LVH having a little bit of a quiet game, where Stormpoint, they were one of the teams to talk about, right? They were really, really successful in putting points on the board there. We did see them struggle a little bit on their rotate this time around. Full English have kind of been in around sort of, I would say, 10th on average today, but the worry for them is their points are coming from placements, not the kills to go alongside it. Even though when you look at the leaderboards, it's like consistently they might have been around that 10th place. If you don't put KP on the board, you end up around that 15th or 16th overall. So maybe they're going to have to look for a few more KP or be a little bit more successful in those
Power World?
fights. We take a look at team
I'm about to
the
get
two
my
teams
ass
we had
beat.
in our final fight, E6 and ANC outplayed.
Dude, there are so many people playing that game, and then there's so many people shitting on it because they think it's just an AI fucking game.
Had a very consistent spot. They trusted
I was hearing about that today for the first time.
I think they did a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, I saw the shit on Twitter.
Shots from even inside those windows with
Where like apparently somebody went in and they saw that they like used AI.
These guys are firing, no pun intended, on all cylinders.
Pokemon or pals created.
Early late game where they
In their
just
first
held
game,
off that building. They
Craftopia,
fought
the intro was just an
They had
exact
the
rip
multiple
of
levels,
Breath of the
saved
Wild
Bangalore
intro.
Ultimate, cleared their outside as well for the stragglers who were trying to survive and kind of play underneath that building, and then to move up top at the right time and fight from low ground to high ground against ANC outplayed. I mean, hats off to them, and there's a big
That's
reason
fucking
why
Obi-Wan
they're
Kenobi.
26 points ahead of our next closest.
I want an
contender.
apple. I'm gonna go get an
16
apple.
points ahead,
Apple sounds
excuse me.
good
What a
right now.
Fantastic though showcase of
Hey,
their
apple.
performance so far today, Mark.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at the overall leaderboards at the moment, the one thing that's sticking out to me is the obvious one, which is E6 at the top. They have yet to have a bad game, and what I mean by that is when a zone hasn't been good for them, they've still picked up KP, right? They've still put points on the board. It is that consistency that we talk about that you are looking for from a team, and I think the great thing for Swinney here is he's found two players who in team fights he can trust to just back his calls, to be aggressive and hit shots, and that's what all the top IGLs are looking for at the moment, right? A couple of controller players who are going to be able to move in on your call and output damage to clean up fights as quickly as possible. And I think Swinney himself's been hitting some really nice shots as well, and he's been doing a good job of commanding space for them. So E6, the chemistry seems to be there, and that was our keyword coming in today. Who can find their chemistry quickest, who can be the most effective, and who is going to put those points on the board because of it?
Case Swinney, some people you call controversial. He's not controversial. He's, however, a bit reserved. There's almost like a layer before you're able to really get to him. He doesn't do the same level of I'm out there as some of our other bigger personalities as consistently. But when you look at his fan base and Element 6 as a fan base, they are one of the biggest fan bases in all of EMEA. That crew shows up to every single live event that we do. And online, their support is magnanimous. So I feel that whether we talk about Case Swinney as much as we talk about hockeys or as much as we talk about Nasky, from an actuality standpoint, these guys are pretty much all on the same level in terms of support. And I got to say that Case Swinney certainly showing up that this could be the start of a very important year for him. Great stuff from Element 6. Great stuff from you, Mark, as well. You'll be back with Dan Gaskin in just a second.
This game is so much easier now that I know how to dodge. I didn't even know it was an option.
Next 2 games.
You can dodge roll in this game. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
You don't say.
No, I say. I didn't know. Oh, this apple's so good. You know, low-key, what I wanted to do? Play fucking Smite.
Can't be happy to hear that.
The game's broken me.
I'm glad you found your niche with the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
I mean, I want to get like one character in each group that I really like.
Oh, yeah.
But Warriors are my favorite right now.
Yeah. Whenever we switch to Conquest, you might not like them as much.
Once again, everybody to the ALGS Pro League, and 4 games are done in the history books. So it means that we only have
Are they like frontliners, like, or are those Guardians?
Guardians are more frontliners. Warriors are usually solo lane, so it's like you're just 1v1ing another warrior, and you're doing bonus points from winning more than 50% of their matches today.
But E6 starting to create a gap.
There's not a lot of action.
50 points in the next 2 games.
That's why I like solo lane.
But that's still something we'll keep an eye on.
That's right.
But the fact they have been able to stay at the head of the pack has been very impressive, to say the least.
I really hope that production can kind of find, like, you know, you win on a slot machine, it goes ding 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 ding. If you get a bonus point,
you get a bonus point.
You get a bonus point. Well, maybe that's an idea for the future. Maybe I kind of hope it doesn't happen this week now, so they get a little bit of time to maybe work on that. I'm sure that will get approved. Anyway, dropship is in the sky, everybody. It's game number 5. World's Edge, the old favorite, the old classic, the thing that you just can't
World's Edge.
To be honest with you, E6 at the front of the pack at the moment, Dan, and we'll have to see if anyone is going to push them in these final 2.
Yeah, this is where we're going to see teams really start to get a bit more aggressive if they're at the bottom of the leaderboards. Maybe we'll see some composition changes. Maybe a Revenant will turn up. Who knows? But there is going to be a fight happening. You can see LVH versus 07 going down. And as I say, go down, Liffen has fallen.
This is why LVH did not have a good game number 1 here on World's Edge. Very good on Storm Point, of course, goes without saying. But this is a very different proposition for them, finding 07, pushing them over at Lava Fissure. And Lava Fissure has been where Nasky is called home for quite some time. Last season, he wants to continue it here. So 07 going to have to move in and finish off this damage and finish off these final 2 players. The Eva 8 is going to help that. Nax is going to have that Q saved as well. So this should be just a case of finishing off the pieces. And it is. There you go. LVH have been eliminated. 07 made it a little bit ugly at the end, but doesn't matter if it's a little bit ugly as long as you get the job done.
We did get to see how high an octave you can go, though, so that was very fun.
No, you didn't.
We've seen nothing yet, sister. But I'm very excited to see.
I'm just saying, there's a reason people call me Mariah when I hit the karaoke.
Dude,
all right?
Who calls you Mariah?
It's the people, man.
Okay, people.
It's the rumors.
We'll look for it. ALGS karaoke coming your way one day, I promise. Circle, let's have a look. We are going. It looks like we're going to be going to the southern side of the circle. No days off. They're going to be comfortable at Tree after forcing the team away that they initially had that fight with. You remember in the last game they had a little scrap, but now they're going to be more than comfortable because Mind are down to just 1 and retreating to try and get those banners back.
Yeah, indeed they are. Scarpering away, but again, the banners are going to be retrievable here. The problem is he might have to wait a little bit of time before he can find somewhere to actually get those in, because he's got to think about where he wants to rotate and where there's going to be a crafting station available to do it. So it might just be a little bit of AFKing for Mind until everybody else starts their rotation and they can think about where they want to go. Speaking of where you want to go, this is where you want to go. The zone is showing for all of you wonderful people at home, and you can see, once again, in a fairly similar position. Last it was a tree zone, and this time we're seeing maybe a siphon zone that's going to be pulling towards some of those open areas in and around the lava. We'll have to wait and see where that zone pool does come. But siphon's going to be a good place to hold. A lot of teams might try and stack up inside of there, or August and Hungry, who, of course, do drop at siphon, have decided that they want to move over here, and they had a little bit of beacon information as well.
Yeah, Cold also have beacon information at stacks, but they're probably still concerned about the big Maud team. EXO are going to be making their way in via Balloon, and they'll be arriving on this northwestern side of Lava Siphon, and they'll probably be greeted by very little, and quite surprised of the amount of room they're going to have to play here, because the Lava Siphon teams and those teams around are very much playing on the southern tip of Lava Siphon, and that's probably why we're going to see another evac tower going down here, because teams don't want to be caught on the northern side. If you're arriving early, you want to get into one of these prime positions, which is going to be on the southern side of Lava Siphon.
It's interesting to see, you know, you look at Lava Siphon, you're looking at the rotation here, basing this off of zone for August and Hungry, right? They don't have a ring console, but they do have the survey beacon. You're probably thinking, hey, they're not going to know where zone goes, but they can play off of the information that they see from maybe the team who land over at launch site, right? If they aren't leaving, if they aren't trying to rotate a little bit earlier, knowing they have a prior position, then they probably realize the pool is going to be going a little bit more towards the south. So that's how in-depth these teams will kind of play their decisions, and will they rotate based off of the information that they do have available. But information is one thing, having a scrap is another, Dan, and full English will be eliminated. And again, I think it's just a case of their fighting not being up to scratch today.
Yeah, it's another game that's ended pretty poorly for full English. but it is going to be about getting reps under your belt. Not the North American reps. You don't want to try and put him under a belt instead. I just mean getting the games done and dusted. The chemistry has to start to arrive with some of these teams, and it might take a few match weeks, but you need to find it soon, because otherwise you are going to be at the bottom of that leaderboard looking up and then having to play somewhat aggressively in these final weeks. But certainly in the final games, we might see more teams trying to push fights, trying to get that KP if the rotations and the zone play hasn't really worked out for them.
Yeah, Exoclan are going to try and hold down this building, which is kind of in the valley between the tunnel and Siphon itself, and they're also going to be playing a little bit of crypto to who are surrounding and
what in the Oscar burp was that?
Just to get the information of where everybody else is trying to rotate. And you would imagine if it stays quiet for the next minute or so,
damn it,
you might think about positioning, because everyone else will be thinking, hey, the zone isn't going him, and the teams who do have that survey beacon will have obviously located towards zone. And Alliance now, it was a little bit surprising to see them leave, I would say, Thermal Station with the white armor. I'm not sure if that was the case in the last game, but we certainly saw the effect with just the white armor. Maybe he had to swap to it because he took some damage, but it didn't look like the normal loophole that they would have left with.
Redragon.
No, they are a team who
or is it Red Dragon?
They still are going to be comfortable in fights, even
Red Dragon.
Pretty
I don't know.
They just want to make sure they are a lot more.
There's not two D's.
Those engagements,
so is it Red Dragon
have those purples ready, especially
or Redragon? Red Dragon? Which is it, team?
And take control of this building, and now they can hold this for quite some time, I'd imagine.
Which is it?
Say, by the way, that is a beautiful construction of what's
wrong. That's all I know.
I was gonna say it was a beautiful construction of concentric. Look at that!
Wow!
Oh, it's a bow tie.
That could be an esports logo.
It's 2005 Dan Gaskin.
Wow, that's a time to be alive. Watson though has been very prevalent in these lobbies. We were kind of wondering, would we see much Watson today? I think yesterday in APAC gave me an indication that yes, she is going to crop up a little bit. The fact that you can just zone out some teams and really frustrate them and hunker down is going to be so important, especially here on World's Edge, where those rotations are going to be a little bit more comfortable than Storm Point. But we're seeing such a different pace on set, such a different pace of lobbies than what we saw in scrims, and I think
another knockoff
every year we get used to scrims being so fast, and then tournament play comes around and we're like, yeah, okay.
Oh, Mill gets his internet fixed today.
Playing a little bit more zone or playing more slow edge, because we have seen teams finding success playing edge here.
His internet's been out since Friday.
Realize as well that you know, if you die,
he said he's been going outside, and then I put it together. I said that's why he went to the club.
Like you can in scrims.
Yeah, I mean, it's more.
It all added up.
Push this team could hurt you.
It all makes sense.
They realize that. But we'll have to see how Coldplay. We did see them just outside of the dome.
Oh yeah.
About the band. I'm talking about, of course,
life I wish
Cold, which might be a better.
Hell.
Would be somewhat surprising.
Yeah.
Chris Martin in
Internet's out. Fuck it. I'm out.
Post Malone's been playing.
He's a hot drop.
Internet's out.
Speaking of hot drops, people dropping out the sky. It's 2R1C just trying to stay away from. I think it's Infinite who were doing some damage, but now they're down to a 2, so they're going to have to retreat. And this is happening a lot, right? We're seeing so many fights happen and an engagement start to unfold, and then people retreating when they are down and out of the fight because of maybe Conduit and the fact that those fights are extended, and the fact that there are so many teams still left in this lobby that you know you're vulnerable to a third party, and your best chance of picking up points is actually to retreat, try and stay alive, and either raz a 2 or potentially get that banner depending on your comp. Now, here for Infinite, it's not going to be a situation where they can get that banner. They don't have a support. They would have to get the banner the good old-fashioned way of getting it from the box. So there is still a chance, but maybe for them it's just going to be about survival.
Yeah, I think one thing to just highlight as well is if you escape as a 2 and you decide to rat as well, let's just think about things a little bit here. Ratting has become more viable of a tactic. We don't have Seer, we don't have many Bloodhounds, so people aren't going to be scanning buildings and getting that free information. So you can get that first pick at a 2v3, it just turns into a 2v2, which becomes winnable, right? So you have to be very aware if you're making a rotation through any buildings at the moment of teams who might be just hiding in some corners, hiding in some pretty unorthodox positions to catch you off guard and get that first pick. And I'm sure there would have been some occasions of that. Teams holding chokes, playing up in that high ground and not showing until rotation comes in.
Yeah, make yourself big sometimes as a 2 as well. You can make yourself look like a 3 if you have good enough damage output. But Aftermath trying to make their rotation from Geyser through that choke, but it looks like they're going to have to retreat because 2R1C are there. 07 are in the area as well. Infinite, there are 4 teams here. And 07, they're kind of licking their lips a little bit, having a look at this one, saying, could we? Should we? Maybe? But no, they're thinking better of it, and they're going to make their own rotation elsewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the smart decision, right? Not only do they realize that this is a third party where no one has really gone down, but also they realize the zone is moving. So they can turn around from inside of the zone and look at this if the teams try to mirror them on the way in. But Infinite, we mentioned how they're trying to show themselves as a 2 at the moment and make themselves look big. Well, they have to go somewhere. And the problem for them is they've got a team below them and they've got a team who they're going to have to try and take down before they rotate. So this is just slowing everyone down at the moment. You don't really understand who benefits from this fight as Zone 2 starts to close.
You can't go under it and you can't go over it. You've got to go through it if you're Aftermath here. You've got to try and take the fight. Otherwise, the zone is just going to chunk you down. And this looks like it could be a dismal end for Aftermath, as they may just end up falling to the zone here if they're not careful.
Yeah, I mean, just decides to pop the shield battery instead of maybe a med kit. Not sure if he has that, of course. It's going to make things a little bit more awkward for them. And now we mentioned how it was a 3v2 and now it can become a 2v2. Well, it's continuing to be a problem. And now Infinite are going to send it. They see the res coming in. They get good damage in and around that knockdown shield. But can they finish it? No, they cannot. And AM will survive. But they will be spotted out, but they can get back up to 3. Can they get the meds popped in time? Syringe will be dropped. Flash might go down here, and I think the Flash will go down here and have to be picked up once more. This is the problem, right? That fight took so long. The zone is now just closing behind them, and nobody really benefited from that, Dan.
Yeah, and I guess that's sometimes the downside of facing up against a 2, because a 2 always feels like they've already got nothing to lose anyway, so they're probably going to be more than happy to take that fight. Elsewhere, 07 trying to make their way in. They're being greeted by E6, also on this tip, who would be able to watch that fight if it had gone down previously, but 07 are taking the high ground. Horizon proving to be very valuable here on World's Edge, not just Stormpoint.
Yeah, and this is first place versus third place in the overall standings at the moment. And Amphi is going to go down, and Nags has to move in. Gets a shield break, but the shield swap, you would imagine, comes in. But there's one for him with the Mastiff. The Purple Boy allowing him to just make sure he's got a decent rate of fire on that. Destroys the black hole almost immediately. And E6 have been eliminated, so the congestion and the traffic surrounding means there must be a third party on the way, and that's exactly what the case is.
Yeah, Outplayed are going to now be here to try and finish off the fight that had already happened here. They can just lock this player down in the building and make it more than difficult to escape, because 15 seconds until teams start to be moving. They know that player's going to have to come out eventually, and Outplayed are going to be able to pick up an extra KP. Elsewhere, I think maybe they're still alive. Aftermath. Yeah, Aftermath have been able to escape the red eventually, and they will still be able to play the game of Apex Legends. So even though they looked like they were in a dismal position, it looks like they were at least able to get something on the way for themselves. As now with round 3 closing, we're heading even further down just on the east side of launch site, closer towards Dome. And there are a few teams who are already taking the kind of rock areas around the lava that just need to be careful about teams arriving.
Yeah, one team is in a great position is Cold. They have held down that position just outside of the Dome on the rocky formations for pretty much the entire game, and they are still there at the moment, and they're trying to hold out teams moving through this vault tunnel. And one of those is going to be 2R1C that we see on our screen right now. The Conduit are always going to slow things down. The barricade is a problem, as are caustic barrels. So if you wanted to find out how difficult a push this is and what Conduit can do in slowing things down, here is the opportunity to do so. However, the Horizon Q just takes them up and above and away from all of it.
Yeah, the energy barricade is so good, not only at slowing teams down, but it also works out, as it says, as a barricade. You can even hide behind it, and it takes
good lord
position. But 2R1C try as they might to do some damage.
Yeah, this dude just one clip through fucking smoke and fire without a digi.
Yeah, this is a 2v2. You can see
without
the
a what?
thermite going down as
without
well.
A digi.
Cold are still looking at this, so anyone who tries to cross their line,
like there was bank smoke and fire, like I think if you use ult in front of him and he just one clipped him.
It's going to be the end of this fight, you would imagine. Shaco, please. Thank you.
All headshots.
Finish this one off, and T-Rat's
No, body.
will survive for now.
That thermite was perfectly placed. It looked like it wasn't hitting whilst they were doing the res, but as soon as they got back up, the animation sent both of them into the thermite. Excellent placement in the end, which won the fight. Now, ExoClan, there are 3 right now, but look at the health on these players. Shex has fallen, so they do have an advantage. It is a 3 versus 2, and they've managed to get the wipe. Shield swaps available to them. This is looking good for Exo.
Shield swaps available, but the only problem is they're already chipped away, and look at the health on everybody. But there's the Watson gen. 07 eliminated in the meantime. The last remaining player, Naski, has been taken down. Excuse me, it was Nags who was that final remaining player. ExoClan trying to stabilize here, trying to survive, and they should be, you would imagine, able to get those health meds popped. They do have the man advantage as well, so they should be safe to move.
Yeah, Outplayed now taking their building off of them, but I think Exo are okay with that because they've been able to reset, and they know they now have the player advantage as well. So it's about just sieging the castle now. How do you get in, or do you just block them in? That's another way to approach things. You have to leave, we have to rotate, so we're just going to wait for you here.
Problem is, they've got to smoke their backs off, and I was going to say, it's important that they do that, and Bavis recognize that situation, because otherwise they're just going to get shot in the back, and that makes an opportunity to present itself. But the Prowler, we all know about the Prowler. It's got the Digi threat on it as well. ANC Outplayed will be eliminated as we're now down to 11 squads, and I tell you what, this is going to be a bit of a scrap for this Vault Tunnel, but if they can get in and they can escape, there's an opportunity for them.
And the fuse in the lobby, by the way, just making things even more difficult for teams trying to rotate. The fact you can fire that knuckle cluster so many times, it's just horrible to play against because it just constantly ticks away at you. A constant reminder that that fuse is going to be there and a pain in the backside. Now Exo having to turn back on themselves, go through the fuse ult as well, and they're going to be so weak heading into this fight.
They're going to be weak, but not down. However, that's going to change in about 2 seconds time. 2R1C come in, finish off that damage, and they will win that fight. Should be able to get a pretty comfortable res as well. Alliance having a little sneaky look at this, but there's too many teams for them to overextend. And look at the north side. It's 40% worse. Can they improve their points total by 40% with a good game here?
Yeah, they're in 16th at the moment with 13 points, as you can see on the right-hand side with teams remaining, and a chance for Cold, who have not been able to get going here to try and do something, as now Effect flies in with the rest of Alliance, but Passion are going to be there to clean up that as well. Effect, as the Rat, thought maybe he'd be able to get some KP, and unfortunately for him, was greeted by another team. So Passion will eventually win this battle on the northern side. Mine still have a Rat on the north as well, and then 40% worse are on the west. The teams in the zone are Cold and one member of Cybercat. So Cold, arguably, in the best position of the game right now.
We'll say the one member of Cybercats, by the way, has been alive for quite some time underneath the position they find themselves in, Cold. A 40% worse. One opportunity this is for them, Dan. We mentioned how E6 have kind of extended their lead at the top, and they are the clear leaders when it comes to points. But the rest of the lobby is pretty close, and a win could completely catapult you up those standings. We heard from Shiv saying he wants to dominate, he wants to win absolutely everything. Well, we're going to have to see if that is going to be the case. With the team in the priority position, the God spot is going to be Cold. It's time for us to jump into our listening and see how they see out this endgame.
Look right.
48, cracked him. Find this rock over there.
Focus it full team, maybe. There's 2 full teams.
Shit, I only have 24 heavy.
Yeah, I have 30 now.
I'm going on the right.
Yeah, they're in front of me.
They killed the Rat. It's 2 teams. It's 2 teams. 2 full teams, guys.
Yeah,
they smoked me
off. Watch your left. Yeah, watch it.
They're fighting? Maybe? I don't see them. I'm scanning.
They're behind the right row.
No, you see them. They're all 3 here.
So it's just... Wait, no, that's a duo, right?
Yeah, it's a duo on the right, maybe, and then a trio here.
They're barely in.
Guys, we win. Look at this zone. They're still smoking me. It ends on me. It ends fucking on me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, they're taking space on the left in the bins.
Yeah, don't let them fucking come here.
We should be able to get... Wait. 100
3
on
seconds
horizon.
for scan. 3 seconds for scan. They're just smoking me on repeat.
They're getting shot now. Maybe...
Yes. Kill this team if we can. Kill this team. Help. That's a full team here. Wait, I'm scanning again.
What team are we trying to help?
We want to kill the trio.
Okay.
Open a bar.
There's one guy solo here. These guys, we just win this game.
He's running now. He's running now.
Yeah, focus that more. I'm watching the right team.
They smoked me off.
They're dropping bats for each other. They don't have bats.
Yeah, I'm just chilling with my shots, bro.
He's behind the ping here. Cat skipped across.
Yeah, I'm 91 on my ult. I'm about to get my ult as well. 40 on 1.
You should get these kills on the right.
Yes,
we will.
They're running out. No, we should have... Okay, we need to treat and kill this.
I'm bang on left.
Bang on left and join left.
Cut the guy behind the bin.
Kill one.
I'm nading it.
I'm waiting for this bang ult. Last
team.
Did you hit that one?
Yeah, I'm walking up. I stun one. Horizon.
Yeah, I'm watching over you.
Bang one.
I'm coming.
Last one.
Jake, he's almost tracked.
Yeah, just wait for me. I'm coming.
I'm waiting for you.
He's trying to
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm gonna switch. Oh.
Good job. We got all.
Well, it's Cold in the end game as Cold will win that game convincingly. You heard the listening there. I mean, Graceful, he was full of confidence on where that game was going to be ended and how it was going to be going down, and they showed that they can convert.
He's also in a perpetual state of yelling, is Graceful. And as a man who I've met is so softly spoken in real life, just didn't stop yelling because he knew that game was theirs and they just had to kind of wait and play correctly.
I will say I 1v1'd him and he obviously beat me. He was yelling at me. So, and I cannot repeat what he was yelling at me during it, but I'm just saying. However, I did say next one wins, and I did win that round. So, who actually won? Anyway, let's talk about the game a little bit, Dan, because I mean, it was their game from the start.
It was. I think the fact that they were able to kind of suss out that circle nice and early, but also get to that position, and they realized it was just playing the waiting game. Also scaring teams away as they arrived. They were putting down a lot of damage from anyone who would kind of evac tower close to them or even walk near them. And it was just a matter of time until they got closer to that end game where they could kind of manipulate the way that final circle went by putting damage, whether it was with grenades or just with their guns. They pick up 7 kills along the way, a 19-point game. Massive for Cold as they were struggling on Storm Point, but they've been able to find a victory here on World's Edge.
40% worse in second place as well. We saw them take down that duo in the in-game just to secure a few more KP. Weren't able to steal the win away, but 12 points overall for them. Very, very strong. And we saw Passion winning a lot of fights in that game, and that means that they total up as well with 7 kills alongside their 7 placement points to end up with 14. But there's one team who kind of jump off that page to me, and it's down in 7th. 10 kills for 2 Rats 1 Controller.
Yeah, 2R1C are just one of these squads that we know can be a real threat in the lobby when it comes to their fighting skills. They're not scared to be aggressive, and they can certainly ruin teams' rotations when they do find that certain aggression next to other squads. On the flip side, 07 still picking up 6 kills despite just a 1 placement point, but they probably would have liked to get a little bit further. But unfortunately, when they did make their rotation, they were greeted by several other teams doing exactly the same thing. We're seeing that a lot today, as we would expect in the ALGS. Teams making similar rotations, trying to make the best rotation possible, trying to not restrict yourself by going through certain chokes, but by doing so, you play into more popular areas, which can result in more teams.
Also means that, you know, they've contested LVH, and even though they're winning it, that 30 seconds the contest takes, that 2 minutes the contest takes, it slows down what might be your pre-planned rotation or what you would say is your ideal one. So they have to deal with that as well as everybody who is being contested at the moment does as well. Here's your match 5 results. Then you can see who did the damage, who picked up the kills. And at the top of the leaderboards there, you can see it's Tyler, the man I mentioned, who was fragging out last year alongside his Vex teammates. Well, he's found a new place to play, and he's got 4 kills to go alongside it.
Yeah, top 3 teams. I'm looking across compositions, and there is slight difference. It's not like we saw earlier on Storm Point, where all 3 were fairly similar. We're seeing a lot of people experiment now with how they want to run their compositions across from Storm Point and World's Edge. We've always known that we see teams swip and swap when it comes to changing between maps, but certainly Horizon's still very prevalent, but also the amount of Watson we're seeing today really shows how important she's been at just locking down some of these locations, and that gen that she puts down for her ultimate is going to be crazy in some of these late game fights as well.
Yeah, it certainly is showing its value, as a lot of different legends do. Now that we have a healthy legend pool, you're seeing how certain teams are being able to counterplay other legends and compositions. It's just this consistent game of chess that we love to see in Apex Legends when it comes to compositions. But I mean, a very important moment for Cold. They take home the winning game, number 5, and we're going to go for a quick break before we get back, Dan, for some more Apex.
Just totally poison people nowadays. And he's like, one of the ideas we came up with was to go to a sperm bank and like have all of their crew like donate sperm, and then 18 years later check in on the kids and see who's the most successful. he was like, oh damn it, it's like, you know, your kids, you know, got a fucking scholarship to USC, and mine's got a crippling heroin addiction. he's like, you gotta break it to your kid 18 years later. He's like, sorry chum, but you were just content at the end of the day.
Damn.
Conceptually, it's a banger, but morally, it's a bit questionable.
A bit.
It's 18-year content investment.
Welcome back, you beautiful people. Dan Gaskin's haircut is still looking magnificent, and mine hasn't changed since last season. One more game to go here on World's Edge. Dan, I'm keeping it, keeping it classic. You're moving on with the times. I love it. We'll have to see if teams can do the same here in our final game.
Yeah, and first place is up for grabs with E6 going out relatively early. It means that people are playing catch up, people are closing that gap. Don't think we'll see any bonus points today. Actually, I am 100% sure we won't see any bonus points today, but that means it just leaves it up for other teams to be that first squad to get a bonus point. Don't worry, I will stop talking about bonus points. They're just new. I like talking about new and exciting things, all right?
This is a number. You love numbers. This is like Christmas for you. This is like everything.
Love numbers, love maths. Well, match 6 is going to be World's Edge again, but we've had a different winner in every single match so far. Are we going to get our first repeat winner, or will we manage to see all 6 matches being different squads?
Well, that's looking like it might be the case, as we've seen consistently different teams in those end zones. And one thing I'm wondering about is if we're actually going to go to the north of World's Edge here, because we've had 2 zones which have pulled down towards the south. We had the tree zone, and then we had the one outside of launch site. So we're going to have to see if some of the teams on the north side get a little bit of luck going their way with where that zone starts to go. We can see the legends starting to populate as well. We got a little bit of Bloodhound. We've seen Watson, which I think is the correct call from you to see that's been utilized pretty heavily, but not a huge amount of conduit here on World's Edge in comparison to what we saw on Storm Point.
Yeah, teams that are looking to have the early fights are still picking Conduit by the looks of it. We've got like, what, 5, 6 teams with Conduit? We also have a crypto coming in for Alliance as well. The only crypto in the lobby, I believe. Still nothing to be seen of any, like, Revenant or anything crazy for teams looking to be aggressive. And that's probably down to the lobby still being relatively close, Mark. There is or week 1, should I say, in your matches, because you still could get decent points with your composition that you played. You don't have to play catch up just yet.
Well, let's see how game number 6 goes here in EMEA. The games pace-wise have been pretty consistent. Everybody's been trying to play for that end game and trying to maximize those opportunities to get points on the board. It's been a pretty good day of Apex so far. I would say the last game, a little bit surprised to see some of the zone reads coming in, especially from the teams who might have got the survey beacon. It didn't feel like many teams really got that one right, Dan, and that really did cost them as we got towards that end game with Cole just sitting there pretty much on their own uncontested. But speaking of contests and being uncontested, that's not the case here over at Tree.
Yep, Mind and No Days Off are having their fight yet again. I will note, Alliance are dropping very aggressively close by here, just to have a little peek if they would like to, but Mind ran away last time. They weren't able to get the better of No Days Off, but it looks like maybe, I was going to say Mind have got the better of them, but things slightly evened out here as it's going to be the Nemesis shredding through, and No Days Off are eliminated. Now, do Alliance or Cybercats try and jump on it? Yes, Cybercats say, okay, well, you've done the damage initially. Maybe we can pick up the pieces here.
Do they have the time to do so, though? Are they going to be able to reset? AC Branches is already up high. They haven't managed to pop those cells yet, and to be fair, they wouldn't have
I don't know what's happening.
Pick up batteries just because this was an immediate contest, so they wouldn't have been able to loot up. It will only be shield cells to play with, but Ranches has taken a little bit of damage, and now there's an opportunity and a window for them to reset and make Cybercats think about this.
Cybercats on the core stick as well, running as a 2, and they will just retreat out of that one. Mind did very well to reset quickly, get back on their feet, and then retreat so that they didn't take too much damage. Alliance also went more than happily back to Thermal Station to carry on their looting path, but I did like how aggressively they dropped just so they could keep an eye or their ears down and check on that fight as well. Now, circle-wise, we're going to be moving up between Monument and Landslide for this circle, so this is going to be very difficult to play on that western side with very little coverage, but you can survive in Monument for quite some time here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see teams moving quite quickly towards the center of the map.
Yeah, I think that choke on the northern side of it is going to be the most important to hold, right? Because you have that high ground opportunity to look over both teams coming in from the east side and the west side, and I double checked that before I said it. It's a place where Valkyria have already moved to, and they drop over at Monument. So they value that position. Kishera is always very good at putting his teams in what he believes is going to be the best position for the long game, and that's where they've chosen. So you would get a pretty good indication of where is going to be the best spot to play.
So many pings going around. Is another caustic on our screens.
I love that ping, by the way, when it's like wingman is 4 miles away. It's like, cool.
Yeah. It's like, great, well done. You have an ability that can see inside them. Good for you. It just makes me jealous because then I want to go for that wingman as we
also
get a little look.
That the team rotating for the other side is going to have a wingman. So yeah,
yes, there is. I mean, maybe that's why there's the ping. Be dangerous. A wingman is going to be on the map. There's the circle for you guys watching at home that I was talking about earlier as well. Kind of between Monument and Landslide is where teams are heading at the moment. These rocks are going to be a fantastic place to hold if you can hold them. And this is where Watson can really come into your advantage, as we see Kashira also just holding himself down with a crypto.
It was fascinating to see how, when we talk about legend composition and meta, it always seems like eventually things start to come around full circle, right? And Watson becomes that opportunistic kind of zone holding area, legend I should say for holding down areas. As Valkyria, they've got some pretty good armors, to be fair, as well off the start. From Monument, they've got purple and 2 blues, and they've also got 30-30s with decent sights to chip away and get those leveled up. So they're in a really good spot, actually. It's just the question is always, can you hold it down? Can you hold the teams off who are going to be continually challenging you and trying to get that god spot away from you? Because if you can output damage as well as you can get that position, then you should be in for a pretty good long game.
And this reminds me of Kashira and the Ascend squad that we used to see, and how they would love to kind of rotate and just post up really early, and how much success they would find playing that way as well. Even though they weren't known for, you know, their 3v3 engagements, it was more about the brain of Kashira and their positioning and their rotations, and this is the perfect chance for them to shine here as well. So we'll have to see how that plays for them as the game goes on. But of course, being in a prime position, you are going to be vulnerable to other teams trying to take it off you. So the Watson going to be massive for them for sure.
Well, Mind have survived. Not sure what their loot's going to look like, though, to be fair, considering that they did have that contest and that they had to kind of retreat and reset and kind of formulate plan B, I would say, as to how they want to move in on this zone. There's a few moves coming in, by the way, from Conduits. One thing we haven't talked about, by the way, the emotes. Very important part of competitive Apex.
Either changing the spirits of your own team or demoralizing other teams. There is always going to be a room and a reason for an emote.
I mean, we talked about how there's no seer. We talked about how Bloodhound isn't a huge pick.
I think we should go there.
August and Hungry know this better than anyone. This is 3 rats in a train. Like being on the underground.
Yeah, they're waiting to move on into King's Cross Station and then jump out on whoever is going to be waiting on that platform, but
waiting to ruin someone's day. I'd be so angry if I walked through here. Especially with Unlucky and kinda. You know what I mean? You're just going to get destroyed.
I understand the game plan, and it will probably work. You're probably going to catch one team, but then where do you go afterwards? Are you then going to be, vulnerable to another team third-partying you? Because it is going to be quite a hot spot for rotations through the train zone, so I'm excited to see what goes down, but maybe teams will have a bad feeling.
Death boxes. Giga Brain plays. Bait the death boxes. Someone else comes in. Do it again. Keep doing it till you win.
I mean, if anyone's going to do it, it would be them, right? Like, they're that kind of squad that are very good at fighting and also want to be in 3v3 engagements. They love playing edge. They love being aggressive where they can.
Well, Exoclan at the moment, they're set up inside a monument on the western side of things, and this is an area that you were talking about can be played for the long game, and Monument still gives, even though, we've seen a little bit of a change over the center of World's Edge over the years, still a fair amount of playable situations with some multi-level buildings for teams to occupy. Infinite, though, they're nowhere near it at the moment. They are rotating all the way around Epicenter, and there's a couple of different teams near them. Cybercats was one of them. LVH are up on the high ground, so maybe they saw them. Maybe they decided, hey, if we want to get up here, we're going to have to take a longer route.
We get it. You know how to crouch whilst you run. There we go.
Sounds like horses, doesn't it? Like
really just galloping over World's Edge toward any enemy they may find. Really checking every corner at the moment is aimbot, and again leads back to your point where without a Bloodhound, without a Seer, you do have to be checking for where rats could reside, because they can ruin your game, they can ruin your day. Circle information, we are going to be moving even further west, closer to the area we were talking about. So all those teams who were banking on Monument that were going to be safe for the time being are going to have to move. So the likes of Amokrea are going to be in prime position. Full English have found themselves in a pretty good spot. And you could also say 07 and Passion have got something to work with here as well.
Look at E6. very top of your screen, 07 are watching their backs. But the zone wrap coming in from E6 could ruin their day. If they are not watching their backs, 07 are going to have a nasty surprise.
At the same time, if they are watching their backs, E6 are going to have a nasty surprise, and they're going to be slightly weak. We'll have to see what happens, as elsewhere, Alliance just holding down the fort at the moment.
Love to see what happens between E6, by the way. Alliance, though, they're trying to hold things down at the moment. They're working their way around Harvester. Good shots coming in from Hackett as well with that Havoc. The turbocharge Havoc, by the way, is a menace in this current state of Apex. Really can do some great damage. They're not going to be able to find these kills, though, and now they're going to have to retreat a little bit. Don't want to overextend for this. Need to think about that rotate. Round 2 is going to be closing. By the way, E6 and 07 seem to have just decided they can share a little bit of ground for now. But E6 having to retreat, and it looks like they're going to decide to zone wrap once again. And a little bit like a, what was it, Goldilocks and the Three Bears? No, that's not the one. What's the Hansel and Gretel? That's it. When they do the, you know, what do they drop? The sweets? The stones? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can modernize it.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears would be a very different story. This spot wasn't quite right. This spot was too good. We need one that was just, I don't know where I'm going with that one, but either way, they are going to have to back off.
Both of us have really gone off the rails.
I made it even worse.
I'm sorry. That's on me.
Element 6 are going to have to wrap through the vault area now, which, you know, it isn't bad. It probably feels bad for them because they are expecting someone to be holding down vault, but the fact that no one's there, they can actually hold this for quite some time. Yes, it doesn't work with maybe their aggressive edge play, but they want to be getting as many points as possible to stay on top right now, and they also get some free goodies from the vault that was left behind.
Well, no, Cybercats were eliminated. I think they were just down to a solo. Alliance also eliminated as well, and one of our running themes coming into this season of the ALGS was, who are the teams who are going to step up to Alliance in EMEA? Well, Alliance have struggled to find any kind of consistency in this lobby so far, Dan, and maybe that's a little bit of a concern for them.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that will look at this first match week and be a little bit concerned of how they played, but I think it's to be expected, and you can't expect there to be brilliance opening right at the start of ALGS if you had made changes, etc. So people shouldn't be too disheartened in their first match week, and as long as you are roughly close to the pace, then it is not going to be too detrimental for you.
Well, August and Hungary have finally left the tunnel. They've decided that, as lovely as it was to spend a little bit of time there, the lights were starting to turn off on the ideas, and they needed to rethink about their rotation. And speaking of zone pulls, well, it has pulled back to where we thought it was going to be. It is going to be on the east side, of that mountainous range, just outside of Monument. And teams who kind of backed on Monument, well, they're going to have to move from there. And it's going to be Vamo Kader, Full English, who are in great positions, and also August and Hungary will have a walk up here from the southern side if they can clear their backs on that tunnel.
And the circle is pulling back towards where Vamakure and Full English are residing as well. So they've really nailed down where this final circle is going to be. However, everyone else who is kind of just above Landslide and the E6 as well might be in trouble, but 2 Rats, 1 Controller, they make sure they get that job done quickly, Mind eliminated, and it looks like they're able to do so and get back up to a 4-3 without being punished.
2 Rats by name, 1 Controller by name also, and also that play was just 4 Rats. That was 3 Rats. 3 Rats. One of them plays Controller. Maybe that's the way to think about things from now on. But it's, again, successful, right? They heard the zone wrap. They knew there was a couple of teams in zone, and they're going to be taking damage. It's such an easy fight to take. And it's, I think you've got to be very wary on zone wrapping these days, just because of the fact you don't have that scan of information on teams who are going to be playing those corners. So that is going to be an easy KP for them. Infinite, they're going to be up on the high ground now. And we mentioned how them and LVH were having a little poke at each other. Well, that is still the case now as they try and take each other on.
Dark Veil goes down. Infinite respond with one of their own. 2 Dark Veils to really just cut off all vision. And a lot is going to be down to the Catalyst players here to be able to poke between, but they may just do a little bit of ring around the rosies.
That A, beautiful, very on brand. Decide to both disengage though, as Infinite will slide back in towards Monument, but try and cut down the team on the pass, which is going to be LVH. They've got the zone closing behind them down. They've got to be so careful in this fight. The longer it takes, the more of a problem it is for both teams.
16 squads remain, but that 16 is probably about to become about 10 as this circle closes, because all of these teams on the eastern side are moving together. Exoclan, Infinite, Aftermath, Stay Healthy are all going to struggle to get in at the same time here. So this is where you really need to rely on your damage dealers to be outputting as much as possible. Keep your team healthy, keep teams at bay. As now you can see LVH are going to push in onto AM, but are they going to be able to get any knocks here?
This fight just keeps going on. The zone is going to be influenced in it. Exoclan eliminated in the meantime from 18 to 15, and you would imagine that's going to go down even more. But LVH should be able to reset here. They do have a little place to play, but they've got no one looking at them. But there's that wrap coming in as we see one player just trying to overextend to influence the fight, and that is exactly what it is going to do. Vibes will finish off the last one, but here come Full English, serving up the beans and giving them the beans as well.
You've been waiting for that one all day, haven't you? As Full English
some baked beans.
will finally do something in the game, as they now find themselves in the top 11, close to more placement points, but more importantly, in a good spot for this circle as well. They have the Watson fences to work with just to hold teams out, as E6 are now getting aggressive onto 07. Nargs is struggling to stay alive, but it looks like E6 will be able to close that one out, close the fight out. 07 eliminated. E6 again continue to be at the top of this lobby.
2 Raskin, 1 controller gone as well, and that was the fight that's been going down for some time. This was the battle for this rotate in, and it is going to be won by E6. Now Passion are in front of them, but I'm pretty sure that Passion are going to be a duo, as you see a little bit of damage coming in and a finish coming in as well. However, look who's coming in from Landslide. It's going to be 40% worse, or if they're not quick here, E6 on this rotate might have to fight them as well.
Vamokure, who are holding center zone, also just peeling off the wigs of anyone who is going to be joining them in the center of this circle, and they now go back to their little hidey hole. Another gen goes down, and they're staying healthy, they're staying well. They've taken so much space right from the start of this game onset, and they're being able to reap the rewards right now. 8 squads left, and everyone's going to be coming towards Vamokure. But look at those fences, look how much area they have to play.
Yeah, really commanding the space by doing so. The team who we mentioned a little bit earlier on, who's going to have a walk in from the north, if they can win their fight, it's going to be August and Hungary, excuse me, from the south. I did it again. My screen was the wrong way. It's a whole mess. Anyway, they've got to walk in, is what I'm trying to say, and they will be safe. Cold are down to just 1, and they're surviving on the north side. The Full English, though, they're on the low ground of this zone, and where it's going to be pulling, they will have to fight uphill. But E6 inside the top 8, KB again, and now with this height advantage over 40% worse, you get the feeling, Dan, they should have a little bit more KP to add. Let's jump into a listening now with E6.
Solo's gonna grief us. He's cracked.
I'm dead. I got stunned by bangles. Nice mini. Right here, Spin. It's the day.
What's up, bang?
Killed me. This Solo fucking griefed me. Yeah, I know. This Solo griefed me. Well, I dropped off the thing.
Well, the classic reaction of a team who's just died. It was someone else's fault. Someone did something wrong. But in the grander scheme of it, Dan, good performance from E6. They will get more points on the board, and they might be in a position to take home first place after this.
Yeah, maybe they'll still hold on to first, but it is going to be tight depending on what happens elsewhere. But it was that Solo from Passion who really ruined their day, and now 40% worse are going to try and pick up that Solo who had done so. Mandy will go down, but they should be able to get him back up because it is just a Solo that was looking at them. But now, Outplayed are wrapping from the north. Outplayed are going to find that Solo, and they might be able to challenge 40% worse. How important could that gold knockdown be?
Yeah, sometimes you just don't think about that, right? You know, the quick reset comes in, you fight a guy who you think is just going to be, 10, 15 HP, and then all of a sudden, it turns around. However, the spray from Shex is very nice. Now they're looking to move in and clean things up. That's exactly what they are going to be able to do. ANC Outplayed down to 2. There is still one alive, but where has he gone? They don't quite know where he's going to be, and now it's a 1v1. Surprise! It's completely turned on its head. Jax has got to be careful here. Cannot let this 1v2 happen. Doesn't let the 1v2 happen, and will take down Shiv. They will control this side of zone.
All the meanwhile, Full English just took down Vamokure in one of the prime positions of the circle, and VQ, who were there for the entire game, were shut down by a push from the Full English. So now we have August and Hungary, Outplayed, Full English, and a rat from Cold as our last 4 teams here in this final circle.
I do like the fact that if you're a solo player now, you haven't got to worry about being scanned. You can make a play and influence these end game lobbies, and that's what Cold are probably thinking, right? Cold are probably thinking, we won the last game. If we could get some more points here, then maybe we can push ourselves right up into contention when we come to those final standings. But Full English, it's time for the boys to arrive, and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they've taken one of the better spots. And this is a huge game and a huge chance for them to jump up the leaderboards in what was very much needed after a day of struggles and difficult rotations. I mean, Storm Point, it was a bad rotation for them every single time, but they finally got something to work with. Now, ANC Outplayed, who are gunning for first place in today's lobby, still have the chance to do so with a victory here. They could catch up E6, who currently are in number 1. But most importantly, if you're putting down 50+ points in a match week, you're already in a good spot.
I will say, you're looking at August and Hungary, and you're looking at their position. They don't have to show first. The two teams who will have to engage first are going to be ANC Outplayed and Full English, just because of how the line of sights are working.
We're making the powers POW world server.
Also, you add on the fact that you can see August and Hungary had about 3 armor swaps out, Dan, so they'll be able to output damage and shield swap to stay alive a little bit longer, unless Full English can do damage and force them off that high ground. That's exactly what they've done.
Or is it going to be who blinks first? This is something that happens in 3v3v3, is a team will try and make a play to either win the game or at least secure second place. And now engaging in this fight gives Outplayed the option to push when they want, and maybe could give them the victory depending on what happens here.
It's such a good ult, and now they're going to be forced to back up. Unlucky will go down. August and Hungry find themselves with 2 on their back.
It's been good. I'm actually, it's been like EU's been actually enjoyable to watch. I feel like it was like a lot of the same teams like last year that would win like out the gate. I mean, it is week 1 or day 1.
They've taken center zone, and they have abilities to work with as well, as now Shex and the rest of the squad just dealing damage out to what they can see through the smoke.
Have to move through this open ground though to try and finish off the fight. ANC Outplayed will take down August and Hungry. Matafe will fall, and now it's a straight. I think it's only one player alive here to deal with. ANC Outplayed will move through that choke and will win our final game. And you get the feeling, Dan, that maybe with that win, it might be an influence on the overall leaderboards to put them up there as well.
Yeah, NA I think is right after, I believe. If not right after, very shortly after.
As they move forward in this match week, and it was kind of giving them to them a little bit. We saw what happened. The 2 squads taking the 3v3 Full English maybe would be a little bit frustrated about what happened there, but they did pretty well to set that team back. But unfortunately, it ruined their chances of winning the game. And Outplayed just kind of strolled up to the choke, saying, "Okay, well, we've got 3 shots here." But they did very well. They didn't blink first, as I said. They were the team that was most patient. You were concerned maybe they would have to be pushed through and seen by the other 2 squads. But as soon as that Dark Veil came down, it allowed Outplayed to walk up for free.
Yeah, very, very well played and very well managed with the utility and the ultimate abilities in that final moment. And again, I always say it, some great shots coming in as well, just to make sure that damage was output. And
it did not
this
work.
is how things look after that game is done. ANC Outplayed, like we saw on the top of the leaderboards, 19 points for them, 7 kills in that game down. And Full English finally starting to fry. Been waiting on that one as
Thought
well.
I would.
4 kills for them, 13 points overall.
God, I miss a fry up so bad. 13 points for August and Hungry.
It like broke.
40% worse.
I don't know why that broke.
With 6 kills, but they were of course struggled with their rotation when they were greeted by Element 6. But even Element 6 couldn't get in from that zone. I said right from the get-go when we saw that circle pool, anyone arriving from that western side trying to come through from landslide was not going to have a fun time. But
what is going on?
It was the last team to arrive that were able to make something worth of it from the north to the west. Now 07 were the 10th place, and down at the bottom again a difficult time for No Days Off. They had such a good start to today, but they weren't able to stay consistent, sadly. Cybercats 2 0 points. Alliance weren't able to get going in that one. Interestingly, the 3 teams there dropping down in the southwest side of the map, all picking up 0 points.
Yeah, very tough rotate for them, but also a little bit surprising to see Alliance right down there. Usually they have some KP to go alongside it, but maybe a little bit of nerf to the POI with a few armors not going their way. Maybe they didn't get a little bit of crafting to it. Make sure they were in a position to really be strong in those fights. We'll have to look back on that game and find out. But I mean, the fact that we have multiple winners today kind of doesn't help with our question we had at the start of the day, Rain Day, which is who's going to be the team to step up and challenge.
That's right. And a lot of the people who we had winning maybe today didn't perform at the highest of levels in terms of getting into that top 3 or 5 as we expected. Some of the faces we challenged that we said, hey, maybe you can get there if you put it together. They seem to be the ones who
doesn't work all at once anymore.
Which is pretty
I don't know why.
Especially from games 1 to 3, we set the tone with some new names showing up. But games 4, 5, and 6 that we just saw on World's Edge, let's walk through those final circles, fellas, because I was there casting game 4.
Wonder if I do that.
Kind of the beginning of what turned out to be a pretty dominant back half across across a pretty dominant day.
That should work.
Element 6 and K-Swinney, but we can't forget Onset how well ANC Outplayed was also playing. They continued to play this well. It started off a lot here though in game 4 and holding this truck.
Yeah, I mean, you can see they had the opportunity here to win this game. They have a Kraber. E6 are already fighting this in this situation, but I think them outputting damage onto this fight to look for some KP, that's what created the opening for E6. You can see them. Look, they're starting to just sneak up a little bit here. The gold armor, I think, is very important in these fights as well to get those quick kills, but Shakes is retreating here, and this was where the knock came in. It's a 3-man peak, or is it a 2-man peak, as CJ, or Cracked as he likes to be known, gets that first knock, and then in the end game, when you've got a 2v3, you're usually in a position to win it if you don't misstep. And E6, big kill points in that game, and also first place as well.
Yeah, Dan, game 5, he took the mic right back. Walk us through what ended up being the story. We saw Graceful, JMW, and Tyler FPS put one together.
Yeah, an early rotation from Cold and finding Godspot, as it were, in this final circle. It was just a matter of letting players come to them, but also dealing damage from a distance.
That's what I do when I'm
in the end, they were rewarded for that patience, but it's also about knowing when it's
too busy doing
when you're in that final circle,
watching ALGS. I just multitask and work on stream shit.
Excuse me, and that positioning here from Graceful, just to take angles, just to be able to do damage from a certain area, means that it's not going to be a comfortable reset for any team.
40% worse.
Because we heard it through the
hasn't done awful.
Cold. They were like, oh, he's dead. Okay, good job. After such an
they haven't done great,
circle,
but they haven't done awful.
An interesting ending for them.
It certainly was. This one, you could hear the screams of agony. We cut to the Element 6 talk through as they went into that final zone. They were thwarted by that solo player who ended K-Swinney's march to more points and a dominant win. Did they do enough? That's the question. We're going to find out in just a moment as we hit the final series results after this. Ultimately, Orgless and Hungry had a slim chance as well. Could they get 5 out of the 6 kills? Ultimately grab first place. It ended up being too much for them. And the tried and true, the second place overall, a lot in today, but first place, multiple opportunities. ANC Outplayed. They continued to outplay this team that did not get mentioned in the pre-show. I'm going to keep saying it again and put some love on their name, some respect on their name. ANC Outplayed. They played one heck of a start here in Split 1. I cannot wait to see this team continue this, because not only are they showing they can win games, they're showing they're consistently in the mix.
They're also showing that they use controller.
To a day that certainly went the way of K-Swinney and Element 6. 61 points, first place, right behind them. ANC Outplayed and Orgless and Hungry Mark.
Yeah, very, very tight. That's what I'm looking at with the leaderboards, right? We were talking about bonus points in the new rule. Forget about that, because you've got to establish yourself as a dominant force in the lobby to even think about that. E6 are the ones who come out on top, just about managed to get enough KP in that last
so
game.
NA should be right after
threshold, but ANC Outplayed right in behind them. But I gotta say, that looks like one of the closest lobbies for like differential of points between placements that we've seen in quite some time. And I think you usually look and you're saying, hey, were people playing some good Apex? Maybe some teams were throwing. I think the fact that you have Alliance down in 14th, Vamok down in 15th, you know, very established names. I think it shows that everyone stepped their game up a little bit here in EMEA. And I think we're going to have some more questions to be answered as we head into week number 2.
And did this answer a lot of questions for you, or did this raise more questions?
I think the biggest question that it answered for me is, are teams who have made changes, are they going to be able to find success, or are they going to struggle? And I think we saw from Outplayed, one of the few teams who actually stayed as a roster, they really benefited. They had that natural chemistry and they were able to work with what they had already learned and grown together, whereas some teams who had just been kind of meshed together, struggling a little bit in the early stages. So I think that's the only thing we truly learned. But there were a few teams who have made changes that did find success, like Element 6, for example. I mean, we've got to take our hats off to them with the new roster, K-Swinney at the helm, and they showed us what they're made of once again.
You know, one thing I will say I loved about the top 10 was that the 3 teams we challenged, from LVH to No Days Off to 40% Worse, it's basically you have to prove it today. They all reached the top 10, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in terms of their placement. So hats off to them. But of course, you can't all be the winners. You can't all be the cool kids, so to speak. When, you know, you look at someone has some style, some shades. These are ALGS, by the way, branded. So, you know, if you were a chance, maybe you got them.
You got the sunglasses.
Maybe not.
I got to step it up next week. I mean,
listen. At the end of the day, this is just because sometimes we got to point out somebody who's just a little cooler than the bunch. That's right. It's time for the MVP of today. We've been working behind the scenes while Mark and Dan were giving you their amazing commentary over it. We had to go ahead and find who deserved the day one, split one MVP vote. And I think you guys could see it coming a mile away. It was close at the end. It had us sweating. But it always seemed to be after this game 4 and this performance that it was going to be someone on element 6.
Yeah, Lions didn't do too hot, did they?
K Swinney putting together the squad of Slab and of Cracked. After coming back
Lions
from last
did
season
just
at
okay.
Champs, a little disappointed. One of the more important teams in all of EMEA, in Europe specifically, the French native.
They did win a game though,
13th place at
right? I
championships
think they
in the
did.
finals after
I think they
taking
won
third
game 2,
place
right?
in the losers round 2 to make it there. He had higher hopes than he achieved, but this season he's off to the races, and you can tell not just from the damage dealt, nearly 6K on the day, 12 kills, 15 assists. This is a true competitor, and K Swinney has been one of our, I think, most elegant top performers that we've seen in the ALGS. He's done it in a way that isn't flashy necessarily. It isn't always someone who needs the limelight, but he just gets the job done and he helps bring people up with him. And so that's why, Mark and Dan, he gets our MVP today. I want to just say, impressed with how he showed up with Element 6 as well, showing up. Dan, I'm going to start with you on their performance today.
Yeah, I think that when you make those changes, there is always going to be the question of, is it going to work? But sometimes an IGL has a vision of how things are going to play out, whether that be the composition or whether that be the rotations. But it clearly worked for E6 today. They were working in tandem so well. Their shot prioritization was great. They were always focusing the same things, and that's why they were so successful in a lot of their 3v3 fights. So I'm glad K Swinney's on top again, and I'm sure the E6 Ultras who featured at LAN events will be very happy, but I'm slightly terrified because maybe that fan base is going to get even bigger because they were very loud in the arena.
I mean, even rowdier, it shouldn't be anything crazy. Mark, you're probably at an Arsenal game every other weekend now, so it shouldn't be that big of a difference.
To get tickets, dude, it's impossible. I mean,
is it really?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to help him out. Somebody out there, get my boy, some tickets. I heard there's some good results recently though, so we'll keep it up. And I mean, I think at the end of the day too, K Swinney, this could be his year. He's definitely been someone on the cusp of having that level of dynasty in EMEA that people look to with reverence, akin to maybe TSM in North America. It's hard to reach those heights, but certainly Alliance in EMEA. Element 6 may be on the cusp of creating that, especially with a great start here. I know we're going to have a chance to speak with K Swinney very, very soon. I'm not sure if he's ready yet, but if he is, let's bring him on. If not, I'm gonna keep talking about him here in this solo. So my ultimate thought process around the way that we look at this kind of end to this day is not just how K Swinney and them narrowly with 2 points got it out, but really the way that they did it, because we came into this meta with a Bloodhound. We came into
All
this
right,
meta
I'm gonna take a break while
thinking
just
that would not be played because it was.
Whoa, there's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay, so
why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
What? Where? Shit, beam scheme. Come back. Get by the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into. Oh. Stop for caustic.
Wings out.
No.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Clip that. Clip it. The White Claws got this man dirty. Clip it.
Oh fuck! I'm seeing stars.
Yo, I'm sweating Modelo right now.
And who is this in front of me? Chris, move.
Oh, I can't move.
Chris, you gotta be in charge of your screaming clip this shit.
I bet my dad wouldn't care.
I can't.
I think that's what he's doing right now, Mil. Jump over him.
I can't move. I'm tapped out. I'm maxed out on fucking.
Are you shitting me right now?
No, I'm serious.
You got 20-something seconds.
Fuck. Whatever. God damn it.
Dude, I hate that they make this so fucking good.
Will shine
Did you see we're getting a buff every single time someone shows up?
No.
We have
Because the
7
prayers of
stacked
hope one.
buff. Yep. As soon as I heard this part, I was like, I need to do this trial with him.
Oh, I'm crummy. This is the best. I'm fucking crying again. Oh my god.
No life, no star, nor the universe itself.
The star still has secrets to tell.
None should hope for better.
Is this chaos? Front of me!
Is that you, Shun?
He really got me. He's right here.
He fucking shit out crazy.
I got him though.
I was doing bad, so.
This guy, his name's FBI.
Asshole.
The FBI.
Somebody just banged on my window. Hold on.
I hope to God. Oh man.
A few moments later.
Bruce?
Yeah.
Did you play a fucking banging thing? Oh my
I
god.
hate it so much.
What the fuck, dude? I just fucking Splinter Cell fucking cleared my house. My desk is right next to a window, but it's like a blackout thing.
I thought
And
you
fucking
knew,
just,
bro.
dude.
I
I
thought
fucking,
there was like a split chance, and I was like, I hope to God he really doesn't know.
dude.
I even
You
said it.
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I fucking gunned straight at the window. Just fucking damn. I was right up. I was like, what the fuck? And I fucking flashlight cleared my whole house. Like, what the fuck? Went out on the porch. I was looking in the snow for footprints next to the window. What the fuck? I was like, wait, if fucking Chris played that thing.
Colin and I live in the same place, and he.
Really? Oh shit!
Go! Watch his computer crash now.
Right.
His game will crash.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. I fucking got it, boy.
What made you just call that out?
Watch you accidentally select the rank.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I thought we were gonna land, dude.
We did land. That was awesome.
Everyone looking at the.
On my way.
Triple kill. Victory.
Oh, you get him, Mel. That's 2 headshots with no scope with a fucking sniper. They fucking think I'm cheating, bro.
You made me want to eat another almond.
Why? Because you had water? Or I had water? Is that why?
Yep. That's exactly why.
Interesting.
Chris Hands. That's right. Nice.
Got a pad?
Oh no, they're fine. Yeah.
Dumpty spotted. Get there. We're all inside the ring. Fantastic. Check me up.
Knocked them all. Oh my good god. Holy dick.
Damn. Yep, I just got 2 assists.
I was with Phil, and I'm looking around like, there's only one other shade of blue. It's not. What the actual fuck? You guys, you were the dumbest fucks. It wasn't me. I was with Phil.
I literally just said,
Shit.
Oscar, I'm so upset with you, but it's so fucking funny.
Fucking yelled his name, bro.
Oh! Fucking open the door! Oh, I see it! Fucking open it! Get me the fuck out! This is why I'm in the van. This is why I'm in the fucking van all the fucking time. Fuck that shit. I'm done. Bullshit. It's a fucking demon.
Pay attention to the dialogue here.
Oh my fuck.
Word.
Is it happening? Is it fucking happening? This is the one thing I wanted to fight this entire time. I'm fucking you. I'm a wrecked as shit right now, dude. I'm so fucking hard. I'm so fucking happy. I'm gonna cry. This is literally my favorite GF, bro. I'm fucking crying.
Do you know how long I've had to hold in the fact that this thing exists?
I fucking love Quizziquat. I'm tearing up. I can't see. Trying to come at me with your bullshit rules, but I come on in and I say fuck you. Get forward smash, you bitch ass bayo.
Just for people we know.
Just for friends, yeah, and you fall in that line category, so yeah, if you want.
Can I fall in that line as well, even though I live here?
Yeah. You're moving here.
Do I pay him money or is it like a sex thing?
Does somebody record that and I can send it to Dad?
Wait, let me see if I have shadow play on.
Yeah, I do actually.
Fuck.
You single fire dickhead, you dick.
Oh my god.
Beam him, Chris.
Oh my god.
Let's go, bitches.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Revenant.
Fucking clip. Whoa, whoa. There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay. So
Why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
what? Where? Shit, beam scheme. Come back. Get to it. By the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking
dog.
done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into. Oh. Copper caustic.
Wings out.
No.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Clip that. Clip it. The White Claws got this man dirty. Clip it.
Oh fuck! I'm seeing stars.
Yeah, I'm sweating Modelo right now.
And who is this?
All right. So I don't think ALGS starts until until 6. Yeah. All right. Doop doop doop. Doop burp 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 burp. What do I want to play? Do I want to play anything or do I just want to watch ALGS? I might take a break until ALGS tonight. Because I also don't know what I want to play. Does this work? This isn't working. Here. Let me go. This is not working, no. Try this real quick. That's a good gift right there. That's a good response. I like that. My man.
How's it going, boys?
What's up, Mill?
Yeah, my internet had been out since fucking Friday when I got home from work.
Holy shit.
So that's why you went to the ass factory.
Storm fuck you up?
Yeah, apparently so. That's exactly why I went. I was bored as fuck. Go out and go touch some grass and some ass.
I fucking can't, man.
Long ass week.
Mill, you gotta download a game on Game Pass.
I think I remember Oscar saying some shit about that. What's it called?
Pal World?
Pal World.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
It's the only way we'll get Chris to join, apparently.
Nah, I don't think I will.
Why?
I told you yesterday. There's too much shit.
Yeah, the shit you're playing right now doesn't need to be played.
Hey, you know what? I could say the same thing about Warframe, but you continue.
It's called Pal World.
Yeah, but this is actually a good game.
That's what I'm saying. Opinions. It's crazy.
Oh, Pal World. P-A-L.
There's no opinion about Apex being bad.
I mean, all right then.
That's just actual factual.
See? Different strokes for different folks.
All right. Let's see. I'm hungry now. What do we have here? 5 guys. Is this how they open it up? Yeah. 26 minutes.
You say 26 minutes?
Yeah. For
Damn.
5 guys to get there.
Oh, I thought you meant for your download. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how big is that game?
What are we gonna do? Cheeseburger fries. Cheeseburger with mayo, lettuce, pickle, tomato. Mustard. What y'all doing now?
I'm just waiting for Chris to install Power World because that's what we're playing tonight.
Is that the Pokemon game with the guns and AKs and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Sounds like Colin's gonna be playing Warframe all night.
Nope.
Because at 6 o'clock I will not be playing anything and I'll be watching ALGS again.
Damn, you even watched that game?
Shit.
Hell yeah. I could, but to be real, I don't even want to really play Power World. I think it looks interesting, and I'm like, meh, it looks cool. But I also kind of just don't want to play it. It's going to get canceled in a couple days anyways when it gets caught for AI and taken off the store, so. There's already people investigating it, fucking ruining fun for everybody.
Why does this 5 guys all the bacon and they damn milkshakes and not only fucking cheeseburgers? What is happening?
I thought they do. It's a
they
different
used
item.
to. It's not an item on the fucking thing to select. It's an item to fucked up a million on DoorDash and get I don't know, but it's a fucking option under fucking milkshake.
I'm dead.
Okay. Just that for a second.
What song? Oh, fuck. He's at work. That's what I'm saying.
I'm back. Wouldn't miss this for the world.
Bad news. They neutralized the zone. Recharging my shields.
Bro, there's no fucking way! I'm ass. I'm cheeks.
Recharge me shields.
Super. We got the zone. Main fences. The circuit is complete.
I ain't out yet. Let's go say hi,
A change of service. The circuit is complete. Safe deployed. Combat too noisy. Shush now. We've neutralized that. Putting down fence.
Where am I at? Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I never look up. Isn't exactly an exact science.
Oh, these guns suck ass.
Where's Hunter? I see him in the thing, but I ain't heard his voice. Oh yeah, we're playing it right now.
There should be Chiefs. I think they're later. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Detroit and stuff like that? Okay. Oh yeah, it's Chiefs and Buffalo later, right?
One day the guy on a buffalo.
returned. Only a fool would consider me busted.
Bro, what the actual fuck, man?
Recharging shields. Not so fast. Time to bind. Bind you. Recharging. Shields are depleted. Recharging.
Really? What the fuck?
Recharging shields.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
That guy goes outside.
Fucked up. They probably...
But probably not. Name at Stony Squids like we're supposed to know who that is. Just another nobody.
I need more damage. I'm gonna go eat my food really quick. Whoa, whoa! There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. Computer. Xbox.
Okay, so
Why is there so many eyes looking at me right there?
What?
Nope, I'm running.
what? Where? Shit, Beamski, I'm back. Get to it. Get by the fire. Get by the fire. Holy shit.
Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all thought I was fucking capping,
Fucking done, bro.
Oh.
Y'all thought I was fucking lying.
You ain't gonna suck me into. Oh. Go for caustic.
Wings out.
No.
Wings out.
One was out here shooting at us from somewhere. Why is there fucking music playing? What the fuck bug is happening right now? What the fuck was that?
No.
Come on, I ain't been fucked this good in ages.
Clip that. Clip it. The White Claws got this man dirty. Clip it.
Oh fuck, I'm seeing stars.
Yo, I'm sweating Modelo right now.
And who is this in front of me? Chris, move.
Oh, I can't move.
Chris, you gotta be in charge of your screaming clip this shit.
I bet my dad wouldn't care.
I can't be
I think that's what he's doing right now, Mel. Jump over him.
Shit.
I can't move. I'm tapped out. I'm maxed out on fucking.
You shitting me right now?
No, I'm serious.
You got 20-something seconds.
Fuck. God damn it.
Dude, I hate that they make this so fucking good.
Will shine. You see, we're getting a buff every single time someone shows up.
No. Is the prayers of hope one?
Yep.
Oh!
As soon as I heard this part, I was like, I need to do this trial with him.
Oh, I'm crying. This is the best. I'm fucking crying again. Oh my god.
No life, no star, nor the universe itself.
The star still has secrets to tell.
None should hope for better.
Is this chaos? Front of me!
Is that you, Shun?
He really got me. He's right here.
He fucking shit out of Chris.
I got him though.
I was doing bad, so.
This guy, his name's FBI.
Asshole.
The FBI.
Somebody just banged on my window. Hold on.
I hope to God. Oh man.
A few moments later.
Bruce?
Yeah.
Did you play a fucking banging thing? Oh my
I
god.
hate it so much.
What the fuck, dude? I just fucking Splinter Cell fucking cleared my house. My desk is right next to a window, but it's like a blackout thing.
I thought
And
you knew, bro.
Dude,
I thought there was like a split chance, and I was like, I hope to God he really doesn't know.
Dude.
I even said it.
You fucking asshole.
Dude, I fucking gunned straight at the window. Just fucking damn. I was right up. I was like, what the fuck? And I fucking flashlight cleared my whole house. Like, what the fuck? Went out on the porch. I was looking in the snow for footprints next to the window. What the fuck? I was like, wait, if fucking Chris played that thing.
Colin and I live in the same place, and he.
Yeah, really? Oh shit!
No! Watch his computer crash now.
Right.
His game will crash.
I fucking got it, boy.
What made you just call that out?
Watch you accidentally select the ring.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I thought we were gonna land, dude.
We did land. Oh my. That was awesome.
Everyone looking at the.
On my way.
Triple kill. Victory.
Oh, you get him, Mel. That's 2 headshots with no scope with a fucking sniper. They fucking think I'm cheating, bro.
You made me want to eat another almond.
Why? Because you had water? Or I had water? Is that why?
Yep. That's exactly why.
Interesting.
Chris Hansen. That's right.
Nice.
Got a pad?
Oh no, they're fine. Yeah.
Dumpty spotted. Get there. We're all inside the ring. Fantastic. Pick me up.
Knocked them all. Oh my good God. Holy dick.
Damn. Yep, I just got 2 assists.
I was with Phil, and I'm looking around like, there's only one other shade of blue. It's not. What the actual fuck? You guys, you were the dumbest fucks. It wasn't me. I was with Phil.
I literally just said,
Oh shit.
Oscar, I'm so upset with you, but it's so fucking funny.
Fucking yelled his name, bro.
Oh! Fucking open the door! Oh, I see it! Fucking open it! Get me the fuck out! This is why I'm in the van. This is why I'm in the fucking van all the fucking time. Fuck that shit. I'm done. Bullshit. It's a fucking demon.
Pay attention to the dialogue here.
Oh my fuck.
Word.
Is it happening? Is it fucking happening? This is the one thing I wanted to fight this entire time. I'm fucking you. I'm a wreck this shit right now, dude. I'm so fucking hard. I'm so fucking happy. I'm gonna cry. This is literally my favorite GF, bro. I'm fucking crying.
Do you know how long I've had to hold in the fact that this thing exists?
I fucking love Quizziqua. I'm tearing up. I can't see. Trying to come at me with your bullshit rules, but I come on in and I say fuck you. Get forward smash, you bitch ass bayo.
Just for people we know.
Just for friends, yeah, and you fall in that line category, so yeah, if you want.
Can I fall in that line as well, even though I live here?
Yeah. You're moving here.
Do I pay him money or is it like a sex thing?
Somebody record that and I can send it to Dad.
Wait, let me see if I have shadow play on.
Yeah, I do actually.
Fuck.
You single fire dickhead, you dick.
Oh my god.
Demon, Chris.
Oh my god.
Let's go, bitches.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Revenant.
Fucking clip. Whoa, whoa. There's more. Help me.
Fuck him.
Why are you here? Oh! Fucking Christ!
What happened? What's up, bitch? Ugh. I didn't like that one bit.
It got me. The timing was fucking great. All right. ALGS starts in like 40 minutes. I'm going to end the stream. I might be back here later. I'm going to work on some stuff.